One. Welcome, Larry. I know we
Hello.
we missed the show last week, but we had a lot going on, and but I want to thank you and everybody else being patient. This is obviously kind of a weekly recap, but more so than not, and we're going to talk about a few things for the rest of the season and beyond. And so, folks, if you are online joining us, we want to say thank you for being here. And before we get plugged in and start talking topics and articles and stuff like that, obviously we have to let you guys know. Please find us on YouTube, Clint the Scout, Larry the GM. Find us on Twitter or X. Sorry, I still keep getting those confused. On X at the same handles, Clint the Scout or Larry the GM. And obviously you go to the website LarryTheGM.com. All content, all materials, all the great stuff is there. And so, Larry, how do you feel? It's seven in a row, and we're getting ready for the Astros to go for number eight.
Clint, I, I feel like kind of yeah.
Vindicated?
Like this is like wait a minute. I'm not like throwing a parade or anything because this is kind of what I mean, I know this sounds ludicrous, but this is what I expected, right? I mean, they were never as bad as they were. They were never, they're probably not as good as they are right now. They shouldn't be this good without Tucker. The pitching is the thing that's really carrying them right now. I'll probably, as we go, Clint, if you pull my screen off, then I'll do some. I'll throw in some stats along the way, and we'll have some fun with that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just like it. I don't want to sound like a know-it-all, but it's just like this is what I expected it to be, right? This is what you and I were talking about in
Yeah.
April.
Well, I
We
think
said
I
this
think it
is this is an 85 to 88 win team, or 85 to 90 win team.
yeah, and I think I remember we had a ton of conversations and we're talking about a team. I was sitting there and I know I mentioned it, but it's like we're waiting for this team to find a streak, like have
Right.
a moment where they start putting four, five, six, 7 wins together, and here we are.
Well, and
And
the other thing, Clint, is the schedule's a lot easier. I mean, we're playing the Rays, but we're playing like the 4A Rays, right? Half the team was in minor leagues a month ago. So yeah.
yeah, and and I just it was something I tweeted out the other time. It's like they're catching Hunter Brown, Framber Valdez, Eric Eddy,
Yeah.
at a very hot time with how they're throwing and how they're pitching. On top of, Blanco has regressed a little bit, but he's still
Right.
been very solid. I mean, if you had told me this was the Ronald Blanco you were going to get for 2024, you're incredibly happy. Larry picked him
Right.
as his his star pitcher for the season, and it's showing why. Um, and
Yeah.
you also got to give credit to this offense just continuing to produce without Tucker. I mean, I think that was the biggest thing as well. Was we are still looming an MVP caliber player to be
Right.
added to this lineup.
Clint, here's the thing. Like Hunter, like I told my wife, I should have, I meant to tweet this, and maybe I'm going to write an article about it. But Clint, who's the most important Astros pitcher for the next 3 years?
For
And
the
see if
next
you and
three
I,
years.
yeah, see if you and I have the same answer.
Um, I mean, I know what answer I want to give, but I'll probably be wrong. But in my opinion, a guy like Brian Abreu is incredibly important.
Okay, well, I mean that's a decent choice because
Yeah,
he's going to
you
be
know,
here.
the
But
next
as
one
I as
after
I
that,
wrote about today,
the next one,
today,
yeah, the next one on my list is going to be Hunter Brown. I mean,
yeah, that's my
they
choice.
they have to
It's Hunter
have
Brown.
a staff ace, and
Right, and he is the staff ace, whether
yeah,
or not we have come to accept that yet or not. Hunter Brown is the most important pitcher for the Astros, and for the next foreseeable future. And we can get into contextually why that is, but when you I mean, guys, I put out an article today that really gets into the finances of the situation because I saw on Twitter, hey, there were some discussions about, hey, who's more important to sign, Bregman or Tucker? And I think we've had that debate all year long, and we'll
Yeah.
probably have it in the room, right? My answer is, guys, I've been working for 2.5, 3 years to have both. I
Yep.
mean, like, the answer is both. I want
Right.
both. I mean, you can get rid of almost all these guys that we've done, like all these deals. And the reason I didn't like any of these expensive deals is because I wanted both of these two guys. I
Right.
wanted the Tuve, Bregman, and Tucker, because to me, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out the rest of the. I mean, literally, the lineup I put out there in that article, Clint, there's no left fielder. I mean, Pedro Leon is a left fielder short
Yeah.
term, right?
Yeah.
But guys, we won the World Series with Martin Maldonado, right?
Mhm.
If we got Bregman being Bregman and we got Tucker being, we've done all this without Tucker,
Yeah.
and we got Yonder Diaz being Yonder Diaz, then the guys, the offense is fine even with a left fielder that's suboptimal, right? And
Yeah.
that's
And the biggest thing for me is, and it's a testament to what the Astros have done for 7, going on 8 years, is just the redistribution of production. It comes from different places, but it comes in, you know, it's not always the same guys. When you lose
right,
stars like Springer, Correa, and so on, it just continues to get distributed out. Jordan Alvarez, Kyle Tucker. Then we go back to Bregman, just Bregman and Altuve being cornerstone players, not just defensively, offensively, you know, the whole thing. So, when you bring in a guy like Yiner Diaz, who's been incredible, offensively, it didn't start that way, but obviously now we're introducing how, oh man, we've got Altuve, Bregman, Tucker, Alvarez. Now you've got a guy like Yiner Diaz. Then you've got depth behind him and someone like Victor Caratini who is serviceable. You kind of build in these things where you can mix and match how you supplement the key components of this offense and those guys. And I read the article today, and I'm like, I've been thinking about it for a little bit as well. Like, what are we gonna do? Because there's gonna be a point where how do we start to mitigate the increasing cost with arbitration as these guys get better? Because if there's
mhm,
anything that Yiner Diaz is showing you, is he's making his price tag a lot higher than it would benefit the Astros at this point. But it's a testament to him and everything that's going on and what's going right with the Astros right now.
right. And I'm not sure. I mean, I put in deals for everybody that I sign long term. I'm not sure those deals are accurate or would be
Yeah.
acceptable. But if you're buying out Yiner Diaz is essentially arbitration years, and you're giving him a 5 year deal, I think he would. I think he'd be interested in the guaranteed money because, it, guys, and we can get into it, or we can. So let's
Well,
talk about what we're gonna do tonight, Clint.
yeah.
We're
Let's
let's
not spoil that. Yeah.
yeah. So what we'll do is we'll get into those things during inning breaks, and we'll kind of talk about topics. We'll take questions, but really, this is a watch party. So you get and like, hey guys, go get a drink and your favorite alcoholic drink or non-alcoholic drink, whatever you want. We're gonna have fun tonight, and we're gonna watch the game together. We will do it in the Larry the GM Clint the Scout way. We'll talk about the matchups as they happen, and we'll talk about, hey, is this a good matchup? Is this a favorable matchup? Yeah. And so I'll preview that in just a minute. But we're gonna have fun tonight. Really, really, kind of. When we do these things, Clint, I guess my goal is to kind of help people to never watch a baseball game the same way
Right.
again. Like, if you guys knew when Clinton and I are going back and forth on Twitter DMing during a baseball game, it's wild sometimes because we're digging. He's usually telling me about pitch location, and I'm usually telling him about the ex Woba matchup, and we're looking at the same thing from two different angles, and it can get pretty crazy. So what I really hope for us to do, and Clint, you on your side, maybe you should call up. I'm not telling you what to do, but maybe you should call up the Baseball Savant page
Yep.
and have that up and kind of share share that data as it's appropriate. But guys, us have some fun tonight. Clint, how many folks do we have in the room? I see Brandon's got a question. Is he the only one here,
Let
or
me
is there
see.
anybody else?
I've got Brandon here for sure. I've got three folks. I don't know exactly who they are.
Okay, okay.
But we're gonna be at this
So
for a little bit, so I'm hoping
yeah,
they're just gonna start filtering in.
yeah, come on in, guys, and please, like, let's make this interactive and share your thoughts, and that's when this will be fun, when you're asking questions. So let me share my screen, Clint, and we'll kind of
Yep.
give folks the moneymaker matchup tonight. So here you go. You guys get the moneymaker exclusive matchup, um, and so. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm not feeling very good, so forgive me for my coughs and my raspy voice, and but I'm wanting to enjoy this with you guys tonight. So we have a really interesting, pretty heavy pitching matchup tonight. Kikuchi overall 302 ex-Woba matchup versus the Rays, and again, this kind of gets into like,
So Larry, that was yesterday's matchup.
oh, I got the wrong one. All right.
I was like, that is an impressive pitcher if
Yes,
Kikuchi's gonna start two in a row. Like he's
two
really
in a row.
dedicated to those
Come
innings.
on, Larry. Come on, Larry the GM. Get it
No,
together.
you're
All
good.
right,
I
there we go.
just I want to make sure we.
I should have known better. All right,
No, it's
here we
all
go.
good.
Ronel Blanco. Because I was thinking that's not the right number. Wait a minute. Because Ronel Blanco's number is even lower. It's a 287 matchup, and that's because Ronel Blanco's righty against this lineup, and they got a lot of the. I mean, there's Yanni Diaz that's a righty that does better versus the lefties, but a lot of the better bats in this lineup are lefties, and they get shut down by the lefties we've had in the
Yep.
first two games. So Brandon Lowe is the star tonight for the Rays. But Yandy Diaz, who's been a pick of ours for the first two games, uh, he by the XO matchup gets shut down. That's the 286 here. That's quite a bit below the 310 average. You can see there's a lot of blue in this table. A 287 overall. The bench is almost no help. Yeah, it should be really fascinating. Now, Clint, I struggle applying this data in Prize Picks and in Bovada to go after pitching. Did you take a pitcher today in
I
any of the Prize Picks?
I didn't take a
Or
picture today, but like we can talk about that as well real quick if you
yeah,
don't
go ahead.
mind,
I mean,
because like what we're seeing right there, and it's kind of it's a similar thing that we always see with some teams more so than others. Is just there's a lot of strength hitting fastballs and stuff like that for
mhm,
those guys, especially the top four. So when we talk about somebody like Ronel Blanco, who's got you know um, uh, when you look at this, he throws the slider almost just as much as he throws the fastball. From a
right.
pitch allocation standpoint, the changeup is just as strong. It's a quarter of the time, and so what I would say we're going to start to expect when we go back over to make sure I'm getting that. Yep. When we get
Yeah,
back into this table with when you're looking at folks like especially, it's essentially 2 through 8. I would expect there's gonna be a lot of a heavy slider changeup type pitches, mainly changeup
correct.
in that regard. Yandy Diaz will probably see more fastballs and sliders, and then Siri will probably see nothing but sliders. And it's
Yeah.
kind of always interesting. So guys, when you see data like this, it's something that I've talked about all the time in some regards is you kind of get into this. And I'm just messing with views now, Larry.
Look at that!
Apparently,
Wow, look at you!
if I could just
Wow,
make this a little bigger, that would be great.
yeah, that's
Let's
pretty awesome.
let's try that.
Okay,
But
but so I mean, one of the things to is bad for the hitter and red is good for the hitter, right? So, so, and on the top of this table, red is good for the pitcher. So you see that while Ronel Blanco does throw his fastball like 35 to 40% of the time, and that's really low by major league standards, guys.
mhm,
Um, he's throwing it to right-handed hitters. He's throwing breaking stuff 47% of the time. That's that slider that Clint's talking about.
yep,
And he's throwing off-speed pitches 31% of the time to lefties and 18% of the time to righties. And versus righties, that's dang both all of the secondary pitches are dang near unhittable,
yep,
right? And so you see how this table matches out with the players' normal stats, and then they're facing Ronel Blanco, and guys, it's just a terrible matchup for them.
yep,
And so what we're going to see tonight is, can Ronel Blanco stay in situations where he's throwing those secondary pitches? Now, this is what Clint and I call the game within the game. We're taking you down, like this is what you expect to see. And I'm telling you, the matchup tonight is really unfavorable the for the Rays. And Ronald Blanco said have a really good night. Now it's baseball, so that's what the matchup looks like. But that doesn't mean it's going to happen. Now we're going to have Jose Altuve coming to the play here, and let's look at the table for him. Now, you notice that up here for Zach Littell, who's one of the pitchers that was in my filter of pitchers to consider trading for. 331 and 315. Uh, you see that his fastballs aren't all that good. His off-speed pitches are better, and so he should be throwing a lot of off-speed pitches to the Astros. And it looks like that's an 85. I don't know if that was a slider or a fastball,
yeah.
off speed.
That's got to be slider there. I would
Okay,
assume
because it
anything.
kind of broke, had a broken tail at the end, right?
Yeah,
But
it
notice,
breaks. Most sliders for right-handers should break away from that right-handed hitter. So, um,
did he hit him? I
n-
turned away.
no, it didn't hit him.
Okay,
It's just up and in and near the chin.
okay.
So,
So you notice that the Astros have a lot of pink in the lineup tonight. And now the Senzo does not have enough AAA or Major League data yet me to do the analysis. That's why there's NAs in the table for him. But
yeah,
you'll see that Jordan Alvarez is a 445. That's a really high number. He should get to the righty Zach Littrell. But the rest of the lineup, it's not. This is this the overall is 318. That's not a huge number for the Astros. So going into this game, it almost if this game ends up being 3-2 tonight, that's not going to be a shocker. Now the Astros offense is kind of on fire right now, so they could do better than that. There's Altuve getting a nice contact, but the catcher, the shortstop gets it.
yeah,
So, and you can
that,
see,
yeah.
I
That's
don't know
just a
what
soft
pitch,
liner off the
what
end of the bat that just kind of, it's just one of those pitches that kind of,
yeah, 76.8. Yeah, not as fast as I thought. So it's a sweeper, and okay, well, why did they go to the sweeper? Okay, well, sweeper versus righties. You know, he's you should see Latrell. Okay, wait a minute. Are they already having a conversation with him?
yeah, it looks like a pitch com issue.
Oh, okay. So you should see a lot of off speed and breaking stuff from. I mean, versus any Astros hitters, guys. That's the way it should look like. That they're not gonna throw a lot of fastballs because this is a fastball hammering team.
Yeah, and a lot of it is for me. It's like See, there's Bregman turning on a fastball early in the count. He gets it. He gets it first pitch, and he goes for it. It's just a little up
Yeah.
in zone, and that's always been my biggest. It's not a critique. It's just a little bit of review. It's like Alex Bregman, and it's kind of similar with Jordan Alvarez. I love seeing them hit those balls, middle and lower in the zone. Like they just seem to have a knack for keeping that, for finding power there compared to anything up and elevated. But you know,
So versus Alvarez, they've gone slider, splitter, slider, and I'm not even seeing that live yet on the TV. Um, but you see slider. There's basically there's basically nothing they can throw at Alvarez. Uh, when you see this red in this table, it'll be interesting to see what happens here, because it's such an advantage for Alvarez in this matchup here.
like he's I'm a little behind, but I know he took him to a 3-0 count with nothing but all speed. So it put Littell in a situation to throw fastballs to stay ahead. And a lot of that for me, guys, is it's kind of that whole thing where it's like I'm gonna pitch I'm gonna pitch them backwards, where I'm gonna throw
Uh huh.
more stuff early that's less hittable, a little bit more breaking balls in the dirt, things like that, hoping I'm going to catch them too aggressive to get either ahead in the count or I'm even. And then next thing you know, it's like, okay, well, the hitters help me dictate the count that I'm working with. So now I can be a little bit more aggressive as compared to, instances where if I start pitching competitively from the beginning, I'm kind of playing into their hands. So, and, now he's in a dogfight with Jordan, and it'll be interesting to see what he does. Well, there's the news right there. So, but also see again, that's one of those balls that are a little more up in the zone that
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of seeing him swing at those. But that's what
Yeah. I
12,
mean,
13 pitches.
yeah. I mean, it's a strike, so he's got to swing at it. But yeah, it'd be good if he could foul that, waste that one away. But yeah, I mean, so it's baseball, guys, and so baseball, that's what happens. It's a tough sport. Okay, so let's you know what? I probably should call up two articles. Let me open the new window. Let's see here. I mean, so I've been, and Clint and I were talking before we got on. I've been curious, like, given the financial situation of the Astros, I've been talking about like 2025 is the Armageddon year, and I called it that because I've been wanting the Astros to be in a position to be able to sign Altuve, Tucker, and Bregman to extensions, knowing, and well, Alvarez too, but knowing that there's no way they were going to get all four, hoping they could be in a position to get three, and knowing that with some of the deals that they were making, it was making it impossible. Well, the interesting thing has happened in the last through this season is that with Verlander's time out, he's not going to hit his 140 innings pitch limit that he needed to get to turn that vesting option into a player option. So therefore, he's going to become a free agent. Well, that frees up over $17 million. We'll get into some other things with that, but we still do have the cost of Abreu and Montero next year. All right, let's see where we're at. Let's see how Blanco pitches these guys. Now, we talked a lot about going with off speed pitches. Well, Clint told you like there's going to be a lot of fastballs to Diaz, if you all remember that. And the reason for that, oh, back up here, is relative to the other things. Diaz is
I think we
is
talked.
about
It's
an equal. equal
Yep.
equal the fastballs to the sliders. So
And he threw him two sliders, two fastballs. So it's right in line with what the data says there, Larry.
all right, two sliders, two fastballs, and he's out. Now, what is going to be interesting is the little inside Larry the GM moneymaker politics here. Is I mean, like guys, I try to do my best for my moneymakers, and I always feel bad. Like, okay, I look at this number 287. I should be giving these guys I pick with my pitchers, and I look at the strikeout data, and I'm like, well, I have shied away from a strikeout Astros strikeout pick. I think I've done one in the last 5 days, and I thought about it all 5 days. It's just kind of like, okay, come on, Larry. It would have been good any of those days. This is the guy that's the best matchup against Blanco. Brandon Lowe. He's the guy that the just for fun's sake, the moneymakers have on our prize picks and on our Bovada. Well, oh my goodness. Well,
Hmm.
Zach DeCenzo, that's going to be problematic. I assume that's an error.
Yeah, that's got to be an error. That was a
Yeah. All right. So what did he do? What did he go with? So he
he
went
threw him a
change up
changeup.
fastball. Yeah, that was a change up on the action pitch. Well, that's interesting. So, and as Clint will tell you guys, a lot of times, the early pitches in the count are setting up the action, what I call the action pitch, the pitch that they're really trying to get him out. Like that second pitch to Brandon Lowe was not a pitch that they expected Brandon Lowe to swing at. If he did, he would have been out with.
Yep.
Um, and then they went to Christian Morel, and they throw a slider. So Clint, what we said thematically, we said expect a lot of sliders, a lot of breaking pitches, and for that changeup to play an important role against these guys. So there
Yeah.
you go.
And not only that, but like Blanco has to navigate them easily a second time through the lineup. So
Right.
the hitters are going to be focusing in on, well, he started me slider first pitch last time or so on. So what is he going to come at next time? Does he dare throw it again? But also it always depends on situation too. The runner's on, like is he going to be throwing off speed with the runner on first and certain outs and things like that? What do those tendencies look like? And it's always fun to kind of mash this stuff up with what comes out data wise. So
So let's get back. Let's talk finances some more. We'll weave this into the conversation
mhm.
during inning breaks. So a couple other things have happened this season. So your Kitty has gotten Tommy John surgery. Now, your Kitty is a free agent after the 25 season. Guys, I don't expect that the Astros are going to tender arbitration to spend $4 to $7 million on Jose Urquidy when he's at best is going to pitch a month or maybe two in the 25 season. I just don't think they're going to do that. So you're hearing it first tonight here, and if you read the article, I guess you could have reached a conclusion. Jose Urquidy will not be on the Astros next year, and that, I mean, okay, that may be too blunt for most people in this fan base, but I'm just telling you, it's the truth, and that saves the Astros about $4 to $7 million on payroll. I think the mediocre seasons of McCormick and Dubon are setting themselves up to be in their ARB 2 years to be trade bait during this offseason. I think they're going to be traded, Clint, because I don't think the Astros are going to want to spend $6 to $9 million on guys that are near replacement level or below players. And so,
Yeah, and I
well,
think that plays into a little bit of it's kind of what I'm pretty sure I mentioned to you and tweeted, like, what are the Astros trying to tell us? Not necessarily about first base when they called up Zach DeCenzo. What are they what is the purpose here? And it's like, well, I think they're trying to figure out a little bit more than just what to do at first base, but what to do with that in those utility spots as they move. And then what do you know?
Right.
Zach DeCindo's playing a little bit of outfield at practice and preparing that way. So I think it's just a little bit of creativity coming from the front office there.
Wow. Okay, we got Yainer Diaz out on one pitch, a sinker. Jeremy Pena out on two pitches, slider sinker. Zach DeCenzo out on one pitch, a slider. Uh, so Clint, this is one of the themes that I know that drives you crazy. Like,
Yes.
why are we not? I mean, I think the Astros philosophy is, hey, if it's in the zone, swing at it early because you may not get a pitch as
Yeah.
good as that. But that's not in a great hitting zone for Zach DeCenzo there, right? I mean,
No. And it's part of the challenge that they seem to face, and I think it can be one of the few components that lead to that hot and cold kind of nature that this offense can go through is, they're aggressive almost to a fault, but at the same time we've also seen it pay off for them in a lot of different ways. And
right. I mean,
so
that's
it's
not in
just
a
a
great
battle.
zone for
Yeah.
that's not in a great zone for Yanier Diaz either, right? I mean, that's tight and high. I mean, I don't, you know, I don't know. I know it drives you crazy. You wish they would take more pitches or see some more pitches. We basically had an inning there where the pitcher pitched four pitches. That's
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
And that's
But
also part of it that really gets into me is that y- Littell's one of the better starting pitchers for them, and we're playing to his hand to allow him to extend his time on the field and pitch
correct.
against us. And that can go two ways. I mean, you can also talk about a guy he may not be very good second and third time through the lineup, so maybe that's something that um let's look at that right now because I know you can kind of look at that type of data as well, but there's always a to me there's always an interesting approach from the Astros hitters where we see it really pay off when they jump on them early, and then we also just see them falter, and so it's almost like I'll be darned if you're gonna beat me the second time through. you know.
Right. So here we got I guess Blanco's already started up. The TV is not back yet, but versus Josh Lowe. And again, focus on seeing him pitch to the lefty. He's going to pitch off speed and breaking. To the righties, it's going to be a lot of breaking and some off speed. So we got two curveballs and a changeup. There you go, and there you go. And then none of those get over the plate. Then he starts throwing fastballs to get some strikes.
Yep.
What's wild is we're like way ahead of the TV. My TV's on 2-0, and the MLB app is on well, it's coming up to pitch six.
Yeah. Fubo's
Uh,
still at commercial, so
wow.
yeah, it's funny how that works out, right?
So you see the changeups, a lot of two curveballs, two changeups, two fastballs to the lefty there. I think, guys, Clint, I almost wanted to go find a combined um, run total.
Hmm.
I would want, like I think I said to you, like if this game turns out to be 3-2, I won't be surprised just based on those ex Wovo matchups for the entire team. That's a pretty low score, right? So,
Yeah.
um, Brandon, I haven't forgotten your question, and we'll get to it. We'll take this commercial break to kind of break that down. But you see, Blanco again committed a lot to the slider.
Yeah.
And maybe maybe some folks don't enjoy the the pitch zone issues of this, but guys, this is if you understand this, you're really in. I mean, when I watch soccer, I don't understand the nuances of soccer, and I would say, like, if you don't understand this, you're missing out on one of the big nuances of a baseball game. The way they're setting each other up with pitches, high, low, in and out, different speeds, different breaks. You got the lefty coming up. Yes, there will be fastballs, but those fastballs should never be down the middle. They should be in a spot that's not really good hittable, and the changing speed. So you got fastball, curveball, and it just went changeup. Here's the
Yeah.
curveball on my TV. It'll be interesting to see like Ronel Blanco. Um,
So it's also interesting. Sorry, Larry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Is when we talk about a Zach Littell. So I'm gonna call up this screen real quick, but and correct me if I'm wrong if I'm looking at this incorrectly, Larry. But I'm pretty sure first time through the lineup for a guy like Zach Littell this year, he's got a 374 WOBA,
Mm,
and then but then when you talk about it coming out and going in second time through the order, it's 287.
wow.
So that may also, for a guy like him, we're going to get out on him early because he seems to potentially get better as he gets through the lineup,
Wow.
and then it goes back up. Third time through the lineup is a 366 WOBA, but as you can tell, that I don't know if he's ever gone that far in games
Yeah.
before.
You have to go
So
see how many plate appearances that really is.
yes, so
All right. Well, Ronel Blanco through 2 innings, he's thrown how many pitches? 23 pitches. That's. I mean, it's not as good as the Tell 17, but
no,
that's because we gave him a 4 pitch inning. But uh, interesting.
and it's one of the things it's been really interesting about Blanco is just the it, to me it's the artistry that kind of has been going into it lately, because as a guy who's never pitched this much before in a season, and as somebody who's implemented a huge change with bringing that change up into play, he's had to get so creative with
Yeah.
how he approaches hitters and how he does things, and he's not an overpowering pitcher either. So, and I mean, I know I'm behind, but I just strike out looking on Rortvent. Is it Rortvent? I never know how to
Yeah.
pronounce that
I
name.
don't know. I don't know how to say half the players' names.
Yeah. So, um, but like I said, Larry, I guess we can go back to the. Sorry, let me put you back on the
No,
spot there
no,
for a
no.
second.
You're good. Let's talk about. Yeah, Todd, I agree with you. But it is frustrating to see a swing at so many first pitches that aren't middle, or they're on that are definitely pitchers' pitches, and we're swinging at them. But you know, I guess when you have a lot of great hitters that are used to hitting not so great pitches, that makes them believe they can hit anything. Let's talk about like Phantom IL stints for the pitching staff. So there are a lot of pitchers on our staff that are getting up there in their innings. Um, but here's the thing: like we're gonna get Verlander back. We're not getting Luis Garcia back. We're not getting Christian Javier back. We're not getting Lance McCullers back. We're not getting Jose Urquidy back. I guess we're getting Penn Murphy back. I don't really know. So for at least in my view, Brandon, for them to be like a lot of like rest breaks, there's got to be guys to come in for them. Well, I think what we're going to see is a 6-man rotation with Verlander in it, and that's going to be a relief. Um, let let me point to Arrighetti for just a minute because I think there is a little bit of a freak out factor that's happening. Like, so Arrighetti pitched 124 pitches, 124 innings last year. It just was split evenly at two different levels. So yeah, he's at 113 right now. If we take it at the 140 or 150%, then 140, 150 innings pitch, I'm not that worried about Spencer Arrighetti. Maybe I should be more after last year than I am, but it does. Going from 124 to 140 to 150 doesn't seem that egregious. Um, you know what I asked Brandon, I asked on Twitter, like who who should who's who should the Astros option to bring in Forrest Whitley? Because when I ask questions like that, guys, there's usually a reason I'm asking, and the reason I was asking is because I don't know the answer to this. I can share with you the data. So I asked it blindly without the pitchers' names because I knew no one would answer Brian Abreu with that name there. But last time I looked, it was like 14 or 15% of the people were answering the question. Well, we should option Brian Abreu. Like, well, that's probably not going to happen. Um, it what's wild to me is most people are saying Sean Dubin. I'm like, well, guys, we're if you're optioning Sean Dubin, you're just optioning him because he's kind of unlucky. That's what the Babbitt and the ERA to FIP spread would tell you. So I don't know. I I'm tempted to say the answer is actually Caleb Ort because there's a reason he was the last one of these to come up. But I don't know. He's only has 10 innings and he's is good. I think the real answer is between Ort, Dubin, King, and Whitley. There's just going to be a revolving door of those guys, and if somebody gets used, especially like a Dubin or a King or even a Whitley gets used for 2+ innings, they're going to be sent down the next day, and 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 the other one will be coming up. I think there's just going to be a revolving door of those guys to maximize. We talk about a 13-man pitching staff, but I think that becomes 14 on September 1st. I think the Astros will actually be operating as if there's like a 15 or 16-man pitching staff because those guys are going to revolve around. Does that make sense, Clint? I
It
don't
does.
think there's any one answer. Is what the point is.
Well, I think in a lot of ways for me, and it was I wanted to track that down real quick because I'm interested to know what his what Whitley's workload is um, like on a game log basis. Because in my opinion, if he the downside of moving Dubin is moving a guy who could pitch two or more innings,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that really could hinder the bullpen entirely. Because then it's like, well, I want the more dominant, impressive pitcher, but at the same time, if Forrest Whitley can only give you one inning every two days, have you
Correct.
really utilized him in the way? So then it brings up, well, that would make a guy like Caleb Ort be the one that you need to option because they can play a similar role that doesn't impact the workload. Um,
Yeah.
and then
So
and then maybe it is somebody like Brian King, just because we don't see him nearly as often. But you most left-handed relievers, I feel like if you're not a dominant guy, you're a specialist guy, and that's really where kind of King
it
has kind of
doesn't
played his role.
it doesn't look like they go many times back to back. It looks like
No.
there's only one time they went back to back with Forrest Whitley. It doesn't look like he's pitched 2 innings since the end of June. Um, yeah, I think this is a good point. I mean, because Sean Dubin has an important role, guys. If somebody has to give us 2 or 3 innings out of the bullpen, it's Sean Dubin that's going to be doing it. So that I think there's a good point, right, Brandon? I'm about to like.
I think I told you. I think we've been talking about that for a month or so now. Larry is like Dubon is playing too much baseball.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I can give it to you guys. It's really bad. Player stats.
And this
Let's
is
go.
another one of those instances where this Zach DeCenzo move is like, what are this? What could the front office be telling us something else? Even though we're worried about first base, I think that's a fair question.
Right. Why is Dubon? I mean, Dubon's in right field. I guess. Why isn't Leone in right field? Like, I'm not even sure Leone is any better than Dubon, but I would much rather see
Well, I guess my question would be is why I've never imagined Chaz as being a really strong option here against righties.
Right. I don't understand. No, I got a number. I got a number for you on that. I was looking at something. All right. Let me go pick on Dubon for just a minute.
I was going to say, let's not forget to give Dubon his fair share of criticism before we go to Chaz.
All right. So Dubon since June, guys. This is since June 1st. June 1st. Mauricio Dubon is hitting 53 WRC plus. Chas McCormick is hitting 68. Joey Loperfido was hitting 61. Jake Meyer. I mean, guys, this is the problem of the Astros lineup. Let me try to clear out some of the noise here so you guys can see it better. We'll just make that 20. We got 15 players since June 1st. Like Dubon is like 2 ticks better than Jose Abreu since June 1st. Like guys, it's like we got Dubon at 53, Myers at 60, Loperfido at 61, Chas McCormick at 68, and Trey Cabbage at 75. Like we got a offensive. This is what led me to write the like. What the hell are we going to do with this slumping lineup? These guys are all in a power outage. Now let's flip the date. Let's flip it to July. All right. Well, since July 1st, Mauricio Dubon is down to 18. 18. Let me put more indignation in my voice. 18 for a guy that's hit 83 plate appearances since July 1st. 18. I don't know. Brandon. You go Twitter. Go search for that. I don't know.
It's
Is
kind of
this
one of the reasons why I brought up Ahmed Rosario to you. I know he's not an outfielder, but I I think obviously that's a harder. It's probably a harder task for him to pass through waivers, but
and Chas McCormick 72 plate appearances, 34. Jake Myers 48. Joey Loperfido 48. Guys, this is we got multiple Maldonado like black holes in this offense since July 1st. I don't I don't think anything should be off the table. So has Kevin Biggio been claimed? The problem is, I know what the problem is, Clint. This is going to take us full circle. All right. Kevin Biggio, if you claimed him first, you're playing the rest of his 4.21. Now, he should be clear. He should be clear. He should be eligible to be signed to a minor league deal. So there's no reason the Astros couldn't claim him. I don't know, guys. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm not seeing any news that he's been anybody put a claim in on him.
just for grins, since July 1st, Kevin Biggio 117, 51 plate appearances. What are we doing? The problem is the problem is the payroll. The problem is the payroll. And I've been warning, and this team is over the CBT2 threshold right now. And I don't think they're adding any more. I I don't think they're adding any more payroll. And I don't know why Aledmus Diaz is here. He hasn't played in he's played 2 games. He's appeared in 2 games in the entire time he's been here.
So
Why
I have a
why
sorry,
isn't
Larry.
Whitcomb here? Why isn't Whitcomb here?
Well, I think, and if you don't mind, I wanted to throw this up for a minute. It's kind of why I was looking at this Ahmed Rosario. I know he's 28, but you're talking about a 1.5 million dollar
Yep.
salary. For a guy who's on the season and 114 WRC plus.
I don't.
He hasn't been terrible.
When was he waived, Clint?
That was I think it was the day that they brought Mookie Bet. It was the day they brought Mookie Betts back.
Okay, it should be on that. It should be on Rosario's Fangraphs page in
Oh
the
yeah.
in the top right. What day does that say? The 12th. So maybe they've already
Yes,
put a claim in.
they designated for an assignment on Monday. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
mean,
an interesting tidbit.
we have a freaking blowout against Boston, and we're not even putting in I mean, to be fair to Levis Diaz, like he's not going to perform if he never goes into a game. Well, that's a good play by DeCenzo there.
That was the play. Was it under review?
He tagged the runner.
Oh, I must be behind because I saw that they were under review for a minute on this.
Yeah, what was that? The review was. I guess that's what they were reviewing, huh?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, the Mariners will try for Rosario too. I
yeah, that's a great play by DeCenzo.
Well, I don't. To be fair on the whole Kessinger thing, I don't think Kessinger was here to play. I think Kessinger was here as a safety valve when we were playing Dubon in the outfield so much, and someone had to be the infielder choice. But that's the here's the hidden value of DeCenzo, right? Uh, uh, you have DeCenzo, he can play. Oh, that's not a pretty play by DeCenzo. He can play multiple infield positions. Now, clearly he's maybe not the greatest infielder, but as he kind of made an error there. I guess that's his second error. I guess they're not calling it an error, but it looked like one. Um, right. Yeah,
Okay, I'm waiting to see it.
he is DeCenzo is available to play. He can play third base. He can play second base. He can play first base, and so I I think he's much more valuable than Kessinger because he actually is a major league hitter. So, but I mean, and I could say the same thing about Whitcomb. Like, why isn't Whitcomb here? What are we doing? Like, why not just bring Whitcomb up? Now, it's a little more problematic in the outfield. Like, who if we're not going to get any of these guys that are um, being waived, which it's interesting to me. Kevin Biggio is being waived by the Dodgers, and he's got a WRC plus way above the Astros 14th, 13th, and 12th, 13th players. Um, it's fascinating to me that what are we doing with the bottom of this lineup? The challenge is if you go down and you look at the triple A position players, and Clint and I we're just talking over. I mean, you guys are watching the team. I'm assuming you're watching the game. Well, Clint, we probably should double back to like some of the pitch selection stuff, but
I
it
mean,
looks like
I don't have to tell you much. He threw Siri 2 sliders and 2 curveballs, and I think that's where all his ex-Woba data is showing very
yeah,
poor numbers against that pitch. So
we're just seeing it play out. Like he's just going to the secondary pitches and guys, Clint, why did I not recommend some sort of pitching stat for Blanco tonight? I don't. I've been scared to give you guys those picks, and I need to do it. All right, so who's the outfielder that the Astros should bring up? Who's the next outfielder? Is it I I know Jacob Milton's coming on. It is going to join this team at some point in the 25 season. But like, if the Astros, like, if you follow that article, and there is no Dubon, and there is no McCormick on the 25 Astros, who besides Pedro Leon is in the outfield? I Whitcomb's an infielder. Is it Cabbage comes back? I guess it's Cabbage.
yeah,
Maybe it's Cooper Hummel. Maybe it's Quincy Hamilton. All those guys are just holding a spot as far as I'm concerned until Jacob Milton gets here. That's the way I view them all. I view all of them that way. So you're right, and you're right, Todd. And I think really what that lends up being, I'm sorry, Todd said left field is in Minute Maid. It's not hard to play, and I think that's why we're seeing Enzo get some time out there to see if he can, or practicing out there. So okay, let's go back to the moneymaker. Let's go back to the financial article. All right, so we've got this situation where I think the Astros, if you put all this together, the Astros are now tracking toward a situation where their payroll is $27 to $33 million less in 2025 than I thought it was going to be, because I thought this team was going to would have McCormick on it next year. I thought they'd have Dubon on it next year. I thought they'd have Verlander on it next year for about $17 million, and I thought they'd have Urquidy pitching for them. I don't think any of those things are happening now. And you put all that together, that's about $30 million. And so what that does for when you look at the payroll numbers is it clears the space or clears the deck for this team to be able to re-sign Alex Bregman this offseason. Now, I will talk to folks about, like, I know everybody's saying, well, Alex Bregman wants 7 years. He's not going to get 7 years. I'm not even sure Alex Bregman is going to get 5 years. And I'll show you that data. We talked about it on a Twitter space. Todd, that was probably like a month ago or something like that. Like, there's no the number of 5-year deals for for 30-year-old free agents is an extreme rarity. They have to look like a Jose Altuve that's a franchise icon to get those kinds of deals. And I'm not saying Alex Bregman and Altuve got 5 years. He didn't get 7. Um, so I think Alex Bregman is going to get a deal that's just a tick under Jose Altuve. Does that make sense to you, Clint? If
It
you were to if you were to stage those deals,
it does because I think that's what made the Altuve extension so pivotal to the front
yeah,
office was like we've set the benchmark on what we will do because if you're not going to if I think what is Altuve is going to be at 25 million on that second extension.
yeah,
So they've pretty much kind of said you can't we're not going to exceed that for
right,
anybody if we are not willing to go that far with Jose Altuve, who's obviously the franchise player.
right. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, who hit that? Alex, take a deep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw the data on it. I haven't seen the actual video, but what is it?
he took
102
he
off the
took
bat, 411 feet. Just
he took Siri to the warning track.
yep.
Yeah. So if you accept this world where Alex Bregman is going to get 4 or 5 years, I think Jim Crane will do that deal. Now, I think Jim Crane's going to be like, man, I got these old infielders. Like 3 years from now, it may not look all that great, but you know, you're going to have Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve till they're ready to retire, basically. What I think is going to happen with Kyle Tucker is they will sign him. They will agree to an arbitration number. Clint, I said that Kyle Tucker would get a deal a tick higher than than Altuve and Bregman. So I said Altuve is 25, like you said. Bregman 24 AAV. Tucker 28. And it's really a question of how many years does it take to make that deal happen, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I think it will take 8 years. I think that's what Tucker will get on the open market. I may be wrong about that, but I think that's what it'll take. I don't think teams are going to these 12, 13-year deals anymore.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. But you're also talking about a guy who'll be 28 at the beginning of next season.
Yeah.
So he's gonna hit the market before he's 30. Um,
Right.
and you're talking about a guy who I just feel like has the ability to produce. You know, as long as he's healthy, but another 6 7 years. So that number would make sense. And the unfortunate thing is, and I feel like that's part of the pain of making that contractual obligation is I'm gonna have to extend this a little bit if I want to keep him. I
Right.
may not be able to go higher AAV per year on shorter years, but I can go lower AAV longer years with the guaranteed money still being the same. And I don't know if these players, if you told me that if you told Kyle Tucker you make $28 million a year for the next 8 years, I mean that's a pretty solid number.
Okay. Now I know that this table is going to be impossible to see on the TV on your screen. I would suggest you go to the LarryTheGM site. You can click on the table and you can see it, and you can blow it up and work with it there. You're probably going to have to get it in on your on your desktop or your laptop. Um, because I'm giving you the numbers year by year. I'm a guys. I'm a firm believer. I'm not gonna just blow narratives at you. I'm gonna give you actual data. I'm gonna actually let you see how it all comes together. So I'm giving you the AAV numbers in 2025 for the for the deals that I'm setting. Now, what I said here also with Brian Abreu is going to get his ARB2 number. I think it's ARB2 in 2025. Um, then my expectation is that this team is going to go all in with Yainer Diaz, and they're going to sign him to a long term deal that'll buy out all of his ARB years and sign him for 5 years and just lock him up and make him happy, and maybe there's a 3 year team option after that, something like
Yeah.
that. And the reason it again, it's only going to be 5 years because that's what that's kind of like Jim Crane's magic number. So I gave you my deals, the major deals. I gave you my deals in this article. And here's where it all comes together. The team this year, right now, is over to CBT2. If the deals come together that I talk about in this article at the levels I say, this team will actually be a tick under the CBT2. Now, we will have lost. Oh, and by the way, also Fromber gets signed. It agrees to an ARB number, so he's still here next year too. I think that makes this team. Yeah, we're losing JV. All right, we're losing McCormick. We're losing Dubon. We're who else did I say we were losing Urquidy. Well, we're not going to have him anyway. Um, and so yeah, we're losing Alemus Diaz. We're losing Kendall Graveman. We're losing Kikuchi. We're losing Caleb Ferguson. I mean, the Kikuchi and Ferguson deals were just rentals, guys. I that's the way I'm looking at them. Now, they can turn around and sign one of those guys, but the point being for me, if you give one of those guys a major deal, then you're signaling to me, or should be signaling to the fan base, that they don't believe they can come to a deal with Tucker. And that's fine if they truly think that, and they replace Tucker with Kikuchi and Ferguson or somebody else and try to improve the pitching side. I do worry about the outfield in that situation because I think the outfield will be the weakest link on this team. But you can be a tick under the CBT2. The next year you'll be under the CBT1, and then I don't even know what the structure looks like because I think there's going to be an economic war in 2026 over the new CBA. So we'll see what happens after that. But this is the roster of the Astros under this scenario, guys. This is the 40 man. If you tell me the future starting pitching staff includes Fromber, Hunter Brown, Lance McCullers, if he's healthy, Luis Garcia, Ronel Blanco, Spencer Arrighetti, Sean Dubin, Colton Gordon, Ryan Gusto, Christian Javier, and JP France. I know that you're like, well, there's no JV in there, Larry. It's like, well, I mean, I almost included in this article the JV numbers versus these other guys. They're not pretty, guys.
Yeah.
And so this bullpen is just as good. I mean, we get to keep a lineup of Altuve, Bregman, Alvarez, Tucker, Diaz, DeCenzo, Pena, Myers, and Leon. Like, guys, that's a really good major league lineup. So that's my plan for the Astros. We'll see if they do it, but that I wanted to share that with you guys tonight as we're doing this. This is kind of the looking forward beyond 2024.
So am I understanding that correctly, Larry? With Forrest Whitley, that's he's a Rule 5 eligible.
Right. So I'm putting him on the active roster.
Okay, that's what that means.
Yeah, he's in the bullpen. Yeah. So I mean, I could clarify, like, these are the guys that have to be on the active roster. I mean, this is the 40 man. Some of these guys would be still in the minors, obviously.
Yeah. So pretty much everybody down through Whitley would have to be from Hader down to Whitley or bona fide locked on the active roster.
Correct. and then probably one. Yeah, and then probably one of the starting Richards in the starting pitcher column too.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you guys think of that, but that's. I mean, I I think that I guess what I'm trying to explain to this fan base, stop worrying about all the sexy free agent deals out there. Stay focused on getting Bregman re-signed and Tucker signed or extended long term. Because to me, that's way more important than any of the other deals that this team could do.
Yeah. I
And
think
it
that's
has
why.
been for years.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the reasons why when I saw Med Rosario hit waivers or be DFA'd was like you're talking about a guy who you might be able to bargain shop him for a 2-year deal to help with a little bit of depth on that roster.
Right.
And
Right.
it's not somebody who's going to, I guess, it. And the thing is, he's 28 going on, he'll be 29 at the end of the year, but it's a guy who's played a lot of infield. He's played right field. I mean, it's obviously not foreign to him, but you know, those are those little types of moves that we kind of have seen these past few years that could make a difference. But sometimes it's important to get these guys in there in the building right now and be like, hey, let's talk about this.
Yeah, so Clint, I know you're behind, but Jeremy Pena just hit a home run.
Oh, okay.
He got a sinking fastball, and that's a good pitch for Jeremy Pena. And Zach Littrell does not throw a great
No.
fastball types, and therefore you get the when these things come together, you get the kind of you see the
Yeah.
results.
And so, guys, you see that he was in a 3-1 count, so he was in a position where he had to throw a competitive pitch, and unfortunately, he just maybe I guess picked the wrong one, or Pena was just ready for it at that point. So that's the benefit of kind of seeing some pitches and kind of working these counts a little bit. Where if you can force that guy to get back in the zone, it can change the outcome.
Well, it
Yep.
shows you like if you can't get the secondary pitch, the sweeper over, right? You can't.
Yep.
You're throwing a ball with that slider, even though the Payne just swung at it. That's where we get the advantage. Now here we go, Zach DeCenzo swinging at get the strikeout. Guys, we're gonna have to put up with DeCenzo striking out. You know, there's a lot of like I think there's gonna be so the backside of the 6, 7, 8, 9 of our lineup, guys. If those guys all are hitting 85 to 95 WRC plus, we're just gonna have to deal
Persevere.
with
Yeah.
it, persevere until Tucker gets back. Right? I mean that's basically what I mean. That would be a huge upgrade for what we've been getting with Dubon lately. So. Well, he just middle that one.
Yep.
Well, here we are in the fifth inning, top of the fifth. We got one run on the board. Each team has one hit, Clint.
Well, it was shaping up to be a pitcher's matchup with Blanco and Littell. I mean,
Yeah, Clint, there's got to be a way to monetize that part of these tables, right? I mean, like
yeah,
318, 287, like the combined runs is not going to be high tonight.
yeah,
Now,
and maybe
it's
what we need to
baseball, but
do.
it never works.
Yeah,
It
maybe
doesn't
what we
always
need to
work.
do is look at like what's the average over under on runs, league wide on a game by game basis compared to what Bovada or those folks are offering, and then compare the XWOBA data that were put together and make
Well,
a
Clint, this
really good
3.6
guess.
the 3.6 number is
That's what they're
that
giving.
be that's no that's the projected runs of a 287
Oh, okay, I got you.
and 4.6. So okay, but I mean these guys aren't going to be in the game the whole way, right?
No,
No, but what we do have down here, I do have a column to the right of these that basically has the bullpen, right? You can project how these guys do against the bullpen. The
So
problem
Larry,
is I dare
there's a
go
good
ahead.
question. Sorry, I mean, could you, like, why wouldn't you give Singleton a start here against a right-handed Littell?
I think they're my guess is they're not liking what they're seeing out of Singleton's at bats.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's what's happening. I mean,
Hmm.
let's go back. Let's look at from a game log. I mean, it doesn't look that bad, does it, Clint?
Not
I mean,
really.
let me do this. Let me do the month. I mean, that's a hell of a lot better than some of the other guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I think there's probably somewhere that they were playing them too much, but it doesn't. It makes zero sense to me that we got Mauricio Dubon up there against a righty. God, let me. Okay, all right, Clint. I'm ready. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna bury him.
I'm gonna let you take this journey, and I'm gonna take a quick break,
All right,
but I will return, obviously.
all right. Here we go. Let's do the split tool. Let's go Mauricio Devon. Like maybe I can call him out through the entire at bat, and then he can hit a home run on me as I'm calling him out. That'd be great, guys. I'd be willing to do that. All right, Mauricio Devon versus righties since let's say July 1st. Advanced. Oh, I meant I know what it is. Look at that. He got a walk. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He got a walk? Okay, wait a minute. That table. Let me go. Oh, okay. I know what that's his career. No, that's not right. 24. Ah, that's what I was looking at. 31 WRC plus since July 1st. And he just got a walk. That's his third one in 51 plate appearances. I'm going to guess that's his first one. It's his second walk this month versus a right hander. He's got 059 batting average, minus 15, minus 15, minus 15 WRC plus versus right handers this month. Okay, it's 19 plate appearances, Larry. Settle down. But that, guys, what are we doing? Why are we sending Mauricio Dubon up there versus a right-hander? I don't understand. Is Singleton hurt? Somebody's got. I mean, like, there's, all right, all right. Just so I'm a. There was a reason why I basically said McCormick and Devon are playing themselves in the position of not being here on the team in 2020, 2025. Guys, you just can't. Uh, let's go August update right-handed 143 batting average. Yeah, that's the number I remember. It's Chas McCormick. Chas McCormick has a 1. Mauricio Dubon has minus. We literally have a guy hitting -15 WRC plus, batting versus righties, batting in front of a guy hitting 1 WRC plus versus righties tonight. And we got Singleton. I know we can't play Caratini every night, but guys, Caratini is an incredible matchup in this matchup. I would much rather see it like we don't. Why is Lemus Diaz here? Give me somebody else that can come in here and hit some righties. Like there are guys in the system. Quincy Hamels is left-handed. Like let him come in here and try to hit some righties. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. We're Mauricio Dubon, Chaz McCormick. I I don't know why they're playing back. Bring back Cabbage. I know he wasn't good, but he can't. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. How many more times can I say I don't know? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Larry, it's only the bottom of the fifth, so we might might have a few more I don't knows in you.
I mean, I just gave about 30 in a row, right? I don't know why. We have a -15 WRC plus batter versus right-handers hitting in front of a guy with a 1 WRC plus. And it's shocking we didn't mount a rally right then.
Nope.
Like it's really good that this team's pitching is it's incredible right now because we'd be screwed if we were counting on some of this offense without Cal Tucker.
Yep.
I mean, Clint, we're about to see Johnny DeLuca. Apparently, he's gonna. He's so desperate to. Ronaldo Blanco's got him so overmatched that he's just going to try to bunt his way on. That ain't going to work either. We got a one hitter going for the Astros, a one hitter going for the Rays. We're through 5 innings. The only difference is our one hit went over the fence. It's 1-0. And then Clint, I'm not telling you, I am not shocked one bit that this game is going like this. This is exactly what I was like, okay, I don't even know. I almost didn't want to put out prize picks today. But there were 2 batters that were supposed to do well, and they're not doing well yet. All right.
Then
Questions, guys. Go ahead, Clint.
I was just gonna say I think pitch count wise, well, we have a new pitcher, don't we?
Yeah, are they bringing
Bringing
in? They look like they were warming up.
Uketa or Useta. I'm not sure.
You said it. I think that's what it is. How many pitches did Lacho have?
He had 68.
Wow.
That's what I see on the game day.
So they pull him after 60. That's some interesting information right there.
Be interesting to know if there was an issue or.
So you said as one of the players that was wreaking havoc with me on my tables.
don't worry. A bunch of Tampa Bay Rays, like reporters and such, are just as stunned as we are to see him being pulled after that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
they're like,
interesting.
this is odd.
All right. Well, I guess let's see. Let's go team premium. So now you're in the guts of the Larry the GM premium tables here. Here they are. Okay. Let me blow these up. You can read them. You said his data was like really, 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 really low until I put the minor league data in there. Let me see if I can show you that. Oh, all
Yeah,
right.
because I was looking
So
at it, I was like, how somehow we had the pitch count reverse, and Blanco was had less pitches in him, and I was like, well, that's not bad at all.
you said it as a major leaguer, 180 pitches, 248 versus lefties, 169 versus righties. Neither one of those is sustainable. He'd be the greatest pitcher ever if he kept those. This guy should be really good versus righties. That's what his minor league data will tell you. Not so good against lefties. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But let me see if I can pull the actual. Get to the actual you set a table. There he is. Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out. Okay, good. All right, so this is USETA. Notice I said he's great against righties and not so good against lefties. And you see the two lefties, and Caratini, the switch hitter. But John Singleton's not in the lineup, so So the question is, if we get far enough where we can pitch hit with Singleton, will we pinch hit with Singleton? And notice this number, 557. So when Yordan Alvarez comes up, just remember it's a 557 matchup. Okay, it's a 557 matchup. I'm not telling you because I don't do live betting, but if you wanted to partake in live betting, you know, 557 is a really high number. So I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm telling you that's your data if you want to do it. No, that's too late. Alvarez is already up in real life. He's coming up. I don't know. You said Clint. I don't know. You said I remember him from the series before. He seemed to be pretty good. I don't remember. I remember wondering what the heck is this guy? Where did this guy come from? Clint, are you there?
Sorry, I had my mic muted. No, it was one of those typical Tampa Bay Rays type pitchers that just kind of comes out of the woodwork, out of their system, and
Yeah.
throws some exceptional stuff. I mean, mid to high 90s and with the sinker, and doesn't seem to be too bad with a few other pitches. But I don't. I was like, I'm gonna pull up the Savant page and give him a look. It's a lot of it is unqualified at the moment, but
Right. Yeah, because the Savant page isn't going to have enough. You got to go into the minor league numbers
yeah,
for him, which is where he shows to be human. Otherwise, it's a superhuman greatest pitcher ever.
yep. And right now he's got himself in a dogfight with Alvarez.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments, guys? Remember, this is meant to be a party, meant to have some fun together.
Oh,
I may have to get some rum in my drink, Clint. It'll calm my throat.
A little bit of bourbon.
We are going to the Cheese and Wine Festival in Fredericksburg this weekend.
That'll be nice.
What is he saying?
Spot us out of the dugout. I must be. I'm sure I'm behind, but
Saying it's a catch, but then apparently they need to correct him. That was foul and never handled by the catcher. That is what good job by the crew. Ooh. Okay. And he walks. Clint, I know I should like walks, but I don't really like walks because they don't really help my prize picks at all.
yeah, not with a guy like, especially with a guy like Jordan. It's like I really would love for him to be swinging.
Well, plus I know that the lefties are the
For the matchup there.
are the matchup. Yeah,
At the 1-1 part of this at bat with Diaz.
I wonder if you. I don't think they would pinch hit for DeCenzo.
I don't know if I do it with 2 outs, but
Yeah, probably not. The good news is they got him. They've already made him pitch
he's thrown quite a few pitches already. 22, 20 plus.
22. Yeah, so that's good. Jordan made him work for that
Yeah.
walk. Got 8 pitches on him. Gunner's taking his time to get struck out. So Bregman took 7 pitches to make it out. I don't know that guy. That guy's a really interesting pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, my prize picks are taking a bath tonight, Clint.
Yeah. It was a pitching matchup for sure. It was definitely leaning towards a lack of offense, and I just Blanco's looked really good tonight. He's just been very steady. You know, he kind of have had these past few starts where he's just been a little rocky in like an inning or so. Um, but it's nice to see him kind of turn that around, and he's just gotta see. Let's see, is this gonna be his who's up to bat for them? Walls series. So he's still in the second time through the lineup. So
And he's at 57 pitches through the 5th inning. Wow. Look at
heading in the top of
Blanco.
the sixth. Yeah,
Look at Blanco.
it's like not so fast with this. Um, you know, I lost you, Larry. You coming back?
I'm here.
Okay.
Am I connected?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. Okay.
We're good. I was gonna pull up the pull up the, you know, second time through the order for Ronald Blanco, the Woba's 236. ERA is at 232, which we're not always the most infatuated with. Their average is 135. And as he goes into that third time through the lineup, he's still got a Woba 256, and it's still pretty consistent overall. But I get that's good hope too. But as long as that pitch count starts to really stay in that world, so it's a 287 Woba third time through the lineup. First time through the lineup is 299, so it's kind of doesn't project to be terrible.
Mhm.
That first pitch strike is the most important thing.
I guess we're done with that.
What's
Any
that?
questions? Any questions about the financial update I gave, guys? Any questions from the chat room? How many people do we have, Clint? Is it just Todd?
No, I've got 16 people watching. We're just not getting
Okay.
a lot of feedback on the,
All right.
not a lot of chatter, not a lot of comments, which I was hoping.
Will be a lot more fun if you guys interact with
Yeah,
us.
yeah. I know we're probably boring you, but we're watching the game now. I think that's also Blanco just continues to work pretty steady.
Ronel Blanco. What man? Ronel Blanco.
Really leaning into that slider in this inning too.
Golly.
No, Todd, you're not talking to yourself. We're here. We're talking to you. We're just working these lines and watching Blanco put in some work, man.
Too bad Ronel Blanco doesn't have rookie status, right? God.
Yeah. Like what a start to have on the day before, they're off traveling. It's kind of like, man, Blanco's going to do the work for everybody today. Looks like looks like Yandy made a play out of that one. I was like, what did he throw him there? Slider.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's not good for Yandy, right? Well,
I
I
think
mean,
I
it's
think
not bad.
it's not bad, but
Yeah. Okay.
it's Blanco leaning into the numbers and just understanding, forcing a hitter to make a better swing. But if you watch that slider slowly, that thing did not move. It backed up on him a lot, and that was just a middle 86-mile-an-hour fastball essentially. So I could definitely see why Yandy got all of that one for a base hit. But it's still opportunity. Let's get a ground ball and get out of this.
Yeah, this is the guy that's the best matchup.
And that's
Right?
change up
Yeah.
fastball right there. So not only did he probably, I would say Blanco threw his best pitch to start and then threw a fastball right on top to create some timing, and then went right back to the changeup.
Yeah, hoping to get him
Yep.
fishing the dirt, right?
And then went back to the changeup again. I might just be leaning into that one at that point. Like if you got to put a better swing on my better pitch. So
I have a theory too, um, Todd. So Todd asks, like, why are they so change up heavy this season? Let me call something up. I want to. let's look at something here. Let's see. I guess I can go from here. Stats. Baseball savant. Search. Major League search. Group by team. Pitcher. Pitch type. And let's go with changeup. Search. Look at the battle with low.
Yep. It's a this is a hard this is hard fought right here. But Blanco is not backing down. He's staying with the changeup.
Well, it shows the guys walking off the field. I
Yeah.
think
I haven't gotten a full reading yet, but they're saying in play out. I just haven't seen the detail yet.
I think there may be a challenge here.
Grounds out.
Maybe.
Hold on. I
No,
missed
there
it.
won't be. Never mind. There won't be. All right. So, percent of pitches. The Houston Astros are the second most. Look
Oh,
at
I
the.
see why. It went off of Blanco's glove
Oh, okay.
and then to Pena and then out to.
14.1% changeups by the Astros, second in the major leagues. Wow. All right, let's do this. Let's do that last year. I mean, Clint, you clocked this like in the first 3 weeks of the season. You
Mm-hmm.
said, Larry, they're throwing a lot more changeups. And especially with Blanco, and it's working. You know, here they were 20th in the league, 9.8. All right. You want my theory? Martin Maldonado doesn't like changeup, doesn't like throwing changeups. And we got somebody else catching. Well, let me give you the narrative behind this. So y'all remember like when Presley said um Presley said that the other okay Christian Vasquez was confused when he got here why they weren't throwing more changeups or why Presley wasn't throwing that changeup that he known him to have.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to like, man, y'all are missing out. Let Presley throw the changeup. Like, no, shut up. Let me get in there with Presley. We'll throw the changeup. Like, and it was almost by accident that Maldonado called a changeup and it worked. And then okay, well maybe we ought to let Presley throw the changeup more. I think that was a subtle way of telling you, like Maldonado just didn't like throwing the changeup. Now, let's go verify that. We can go verify that, right? Hang on. Let's go back to the 24 data. Well, no, well, Chicago White Sox. Okay, they're 12.7. They're at the high end. But what were
Well,
they last year?
they also let him go a while back. So
Where were
White Sox
they?
last year were about the same place that the Astros were.
Interesting. You know what?
Uh,
I want to see. I want to see this from a different perspective. Let's do league and year. Let's go because this is gonna get to Todd's point, right?
yeah.
there's there's wow, right? That was not the result I expected. There are less changeups this year in Major League Baseball than there were last year.
Yeah. My theory behind it is obviously it's the changeup for me is one of those pitches that it really does require a big change in speed, and it plays really well off the fastball as compared to those sliders and these sweepers that they're throwing a lot now, and they're throwing them harder. So yeah, it's health, but I feel like the changeup, especially for this pitching staff, when they're not really the type of pitching staff that is overpowering guys with velocity, just gives them another tool to leverage against hitters that are so fastball oriented. I mean, what would you say, Larry? The average fastball utilization in the league is 40+%.
You know, it's more than that. Well,
Yeah, I'm being generous, but
well, that may be like four overall fastballs in the league. All fastballs,
55%.
55.6.
Even I'm low. But you're
Now,
also thinking about how hard are sinkers being thrown nowadays, and how
right,
hard are
yeah,
these cutters being thrown nowadays, and even sliders are being thrown really hard.
yeah.
And you're right. That Todd. That's exactly it. The changeup really puts the ball down on the ground and against the it. And for me, it's a physics thing. When you've got this era of baseball where it's launch angle, it's the upward attack on the ball. It's I want to airborne, and you create a pitch that tails down and away. It dies. It drops out of that hanging zone. It just gives them an opportunity to avoid letting these guys elevate, and it kind of shows tonight. I mean, how many Blanco's had some pop flies when the ball gets elevated in the zone, which makes sense, but he's also gotten quite a few ground balls when that changeup stays down. But
Here's
it
the other interesting trend, Clint, is like this is the four seam fastballs. There's a definite downward projection of four seam fastballs, even in
yeah,
the last 4 years. Now, if I go extend this back, I'm not sure how many years of data is here. Let's do all years. We'll see what we get. You notice that.
kind of
Interesting.
stayed pretty stable, and then now these past,
Yeah, it kind of oscillated in the 30s.
yeah,
Now it's dropping to the lower 30s. So, and I think we'll do all the fastballs because I think there was a time there were a lot more sinkers in the game,
hmm
and there was a period like, well, I think you showed it there. Like we're moving away from the sinker, and now we're going to get to the yeah, because you can see the overall. Look at this is the overall fastball rate mid lower 60s, 60 upper 50s, mid 50s.
yep,
It's the death of the fastball. And I wanted to write something to that effect. I think I've talked about like, but part of the injury rate for me really comes back to this pitch right here.
yep. And one of
And
the
I don't know if I should include the slurve now or not, but
yeah, I think to me, it's fair to say you can, just because they are very similar. I mean, obviously, one has a little bit more downward tilt and breaking that direction, but it's not really much changes. That I think what really becomes the issue is when you start to throw that slider as hard as you can, because
right.
you're trying to emulate the release of a fastball with the slider movement, and that I think that just puts a ton of I say kids, ton of pitchers at risk with that, because
Well, yeah,
it's a
because
hard pitch to for your elbow to absorb.
right, it's the physics, right?
Yeah.
I mean, guys, these numbers are in the mid. these numbers in the low 80s, upper 70s, like 20 years further back. Um, and so, what's interesting here, Clint, is 21, 22, 17.5. Now it's dropping back down.
Yeah.
and I and I think we'll go find the change ups. No, I think what we're gonna find, maybe that there it's the overall the sweepers and the slurs. Well, let me do the whole group, because I think what they're doing now is they're basically saying, well, let's some nuances on the sliders, and we're giving some different slider
Yep.
combinations.
Yeah, and Todd,
Yeah.
that's another thing too. Substances and the way you hold a hold a curveball is, and it's not always like, you know, it's not always as easy. With a curveball, it's like I can do two different things with a curveball depending on the pressure I put in whatever finger I want to do, or is my hand more on top? If I have a cupped wrist, I would call this, am I cupping that ball over the front of it? Am I going to come more out of the side of it? Am I going to change? But, you know, it's something I've talked about before. Like, this elbow is that lever type joint. It only goes this way, whereas the shoulder is that ball and socket. So as you start to twist and contort and try to drive the inside of that elbow to lead a pitch or try to get on the outside of it, you're forcing that elbow to do something that it's not mechanically designed to do. And then throw in the fact that every muscle up your forearm, every ligament, and obviously the UCL is running right underneath here. Like, it's just like this huge, the amount of torque and the contortion of that arm and that joint, everything just kind of plays into the why you have so many guys going down with Tommy John at some unfortunate times. But I also think, Larry, I feel like we have a lot more position players fighting that nowadays too.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
you get a lot of position players. I mean, I know
Are
he's
they?
a
Are
Yankee, but
they? Are
Jazz Chisholm has that same issue, but it's a mechanical thing as well with how these guys throw compared to before.
are they addicted to throwing hard too?
Oh yeah, I mean some of these infield guys. I mean Carlos Correa is one of the best at it. Remember that? And
Yeah.
but but you know, I think it just bodes into what has become a power driven type thing where it's how hard can I throw it? How much can I make it move? And stuff like that. And it's just really, it sucks because you know those Tommy Johns just you just never know how they're going to come out of it. I mean, we're seeing it
So
now with Luis Garcia having a hard time to recuperate, and it's like, well, yeah, it may not be as easy as it's a year process. It may be it could truly be a 2-year process.
we've got Blanco out. I'm sure the Rays are excited about that.
Yeah.
We're
How many
going with
pitches
Caleb
did he
Orr.
have? Only
76.
73.
73.
It's
Now
just clear
maybe
preservation, or they didn't like the matchups that are coming up.
they didn't like it third time through.
Yeah, I think that was it. I mean, he didn't look too bad third time through. I think third time through the lineup, 287 Woba. I mean, it's not really not much as bad, but I think the best way to look at it would be how, like, what is it like for, like, what has it been like for the past couple weeks?
Yeah. Man, I don't know, man. So I was like, why don't we have Forrest Whitley here? And then I said, well, Larry, who would you send down? That's why I tweeted the poll, because it was not inherently obvious to me who they should send down. The overwhelming response of the Astros Twitter to that poll was, well, send down Sean Newman because he's got the 4.5 ERA, but the FIP is like 2.5 something. I I don't. Yeah, basically, the BABIP's like 370 something. It's like, guys, you're just you're just sending you're just sending Dubin down because he's unlucky. I don't know about that. I think
Yeah.
what it means to me is that Forrest Whitley is definitely a September call up. The problem is, Clint, this team has to know, like, this team has to know whether or not they want to allocate a 40-man roster spot for Forrest Whitley on November 15th. They have to know that.
Yep.
Or he's open to the Rule 5 draft and he will be drafted.
Yeah.
If he
It's not.
if he's
It's not going to be an easy decision because, and it sucks because he's in some ways he's making the decision easy. Like it's time.
Mhm.
He
He's
clearly,
actually putting together a couple months of actually good performance in AAA, right?
yeah, while healthy. Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing is can he string together outings with health, and he's doing it.
Clint, I'm gonna go take something from my throat, and I will be
Sure.
right back.
That's a nice way to say you're going to take a shot of bourbon and
Something, maybe some medicine and some bourbon. I don't know.
yeah, I'm with you, Todd. I kind of I was talking about this a few weeks ago with Larry. I was like, give me the guy with some upside. Give me the guy that the untapped. Like, have we seen the ceiling? No. Have we seen the ceiling with some of these other folks? Yeah, we have. I feel like we have. You know, and so what can Whitley bring us, especially in that stretch where maybe we need to look at giving some guys some off days, or at least not throwing them as much in that last month, depending on how the division's laying out and what Seattle does and stuff like that. So I think it merits the question and intrigue for Whitley, because I don't know if you watch some of it sometimes. I obviously it's a lot harder to get those minor league clips. But it's like you watch him, he has 98, 99 in the tank. That curveball he's got a big heavy curveball. It's just he gets a lot of guys just not even wanting to swing at it. And yeah, it's AAA, but it's also like we got to know if it plays. And I know that in some instances the data will say yes, but until we see it on the field, do we know for sure it's going to play hard and he's going to do it. But we kind of saw it a little bit when he was here for that one time he did pitch. The one thing the Astros haven't really had in the bullpen this year, outside of Orton, Abreu, and I guess you could say Hader, but I feel like Hader's anomaly is not so much the velocity, near as much the delivery, but a guy that can just come in and mow some guys down. Yeah, and I think that's the fair thing too, Todd. Is like, can you use him as a setup guy for Abreu and Hader? Can you plug him in the seventh? Can you put him in those high leverage positions? And I would love to see that, because then all the draft capital and the investment that they put into him will not have been completely for nothing at that point. And yeah, I love the swing and miss stuff. Like it's like give us a guy that can put some hitters, sit some hitters down instead of relying on the defense. Not that the defense can't do it, but like, can he go out there and strike out the side and make it a dominant type? Yeah, it's almost an instance when, like, when you have a and this is kind of that game within a game, and I kind of go back when you have that inning where your offense goes and puts 3 or 4 runs, and next thing you know it's a four to 1 game, or it's 4-2, and you just take the lead, and then all of a sudden it's top of the seventh, or what have you. It's like you want that guy that's like, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna go 3 up, 3 down. I'm gonna strike 2 or 3 out. I'm gonna strike out the side, and I'm gonna make sure that any momentum that came through is done. Like that's the type of thing. And I know that gets away from the data and the way we look at it, but there's a bit of a psychological and old school baseball approach with that, where it's like we are going to ensure that this offense doesn't get a glimpse or doesn't find any momentum right after we have gone out and given ourselves the lead. It's just those are the
What the
fun types
heck?
of things.
I leave the room and we lose. We got two guys on base, two
Yeah.
walks.
Yep, and he's bringing Taylor Scott in now.
Man.
I think it was because Todd and I were talking about Whitley so much while you were gone, and Ort's listening to the and Ort's getting that feeling of I'm gonna be replaced soon or something of the
Hmm.
sort. But
Clint, can you put the chat overlay on
yeah,
the
for sure.
screen?
So let me do this real quick. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I would. It would be a nice spot to see. Well, I don't know. In a 1-0 game, Todd, I'm fine with Taylor Scott here. I'm also fine with Brian Abreu here.
Well, in my opinion, as a manager, Espada's got to be looking at this 1-0 game. I've got an off day tomorrow. I gotta get through these. I gotta get these. What is it? Oh God, I've missed how many outs. Are there any outs at all?
I think there's one
One out.
maybe.
I got to find a way to get 8 outs.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I'm pretty sure that. I mean, they probably said it on TV. Ryan Presley's probably not available, right?
Yeah.
That's why Scott's coming in this inning, and Abreu's probably got the eighth, and
Yep.
and Hader will have the ninth if we hold this lead. Guys, we've got one hit, and the Rays have got two. This is like a oh, now they're stealing third base. Okay, they're putting the pressure on us. This is a dang bad night for Prize Picks, Clint.
Yep. It's one of those. It's a Wednesday. It's a travel day. We're tired of being in Tampa day.
What the hell? One hit. If the Astros get one hit, the Prize Picks are never going to hit. Sorry about that, folks.
No, it's okay. I'm looking at my MLB feed, and it's still got the runner on second, which is odd.
Taylor Scott's kind of a badass, guys. Dude, just like
It's a quintessential, you know,
32
uh,
year old.
yeah, just a tough guy that just is gonna go out there and find a way to get you out.
Was he in like I don't even know the backstory. Was he in Korea or something? Or
I'm not sure. I don't know. Let's check that out.
where's the story? What's the backstory there? There's got to be one.
South. I know he's from South Africa.
Uh,
Um, it's like, I mean, he was with
you probably have to go to
three teams
baseball, right?
last season.
You have to go to Baseball Reference to see it, right? So now Junior Caminero steals.
Yep. Now they've got runners in scoring position with that out.
I mean, guys, no key. Taylor Scott is like
So
Taylor
last year,
Scott is what we want Rafael Montero to be, and
that's where the
he's been
money is. Yeah.
freaking impossibly good. Like 32, dude has no wear and
Yeah.
tear on that arm. Major leagues.
Yep. So he did pitch in Japan in 2020,
Okay.
and then he moved back to the states, and the last year he was with the Dodgers, the Red Sox, and the Athletics, and then he was in the PCL before that. 2022, he was with the Padres for a very short time, but minor league in Japan pretty much all the way through. He was with Baltimore at one point in time.
The guy's got a
Ah,
5.03 ERA, a 4.94, and yet for the Astros, it's 1.77, 3.9, 3.82 FIP. It's just
yep.
it's wild. I mean, this Babbitt is a warning sign, by the way, guys. A 197 Babbitt is telling you it's like this is unsustainably low, but um, it's crazy.
Then we got Manuel Rodriguez.
So
This be
let
be
me
a great.
call up the let me call up the
I was like,
I should
is this a great spot where you would have some like if you had a cabbage you could pinch it?
let me, I mean I should be doing these these moneymaker tables. There should be there should be a benefit to being here with us. All right,
Mm,
so who's good versus Manuel Rodriguez?
not
Well,
not
okay,
Mauricio Dubon.
just then Jordan Alvarez is good. Okay. Well, he's right-handed. That's pretty typical. Now notice that for Manuel Rodriguez here, he's got a lot of like he's this is a really typical profile, right? The fastball, 50% of the fastballs, and they're not very effective. The reason the major leagues are moving away from fastballs is fastballs just get hammered by everybody.
Yep.
It's crazy. And look at the off speed the breaking pitches. Dude's throwing half fastballs, half breaking pitches to right-handers, half fastballs, almost a little bit less than half, and 3.8% off-speed pitches to lefties. Um, and it's all the secondary stuff that's good, and all the other stuff that's not good.
Yeah.
All the fastballs are not good. So we got why is Dubon up? Why is Dubon up? Let me have a John Singleton pitch hit here.
Yeah, you could
Well,
pinch
what
hit for
happened?
Singleton and move him to first and move DeCenzo out to right if you really had to.
Well, what's going to happen if you send Singleton up there is he's literally just going to throw he's
Those
just going
breaking
to throw
balls, yeah.
breaking pitches at him all night. So I get it. I get it. I, I understand it. Well, then send Victor Caratini up there
Yep.
because I'm tired of that. I'm tired of watching. I'm about to get really snarky about Mauricio Dumont and I mean I don't know how much more snarky I can be about Lesmus Diaz, but I don't know. Yeah, 90 mile an hour per hour slider. What the hell?
Hmm.
What 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 game what game are we watching, Clint? 90 mile an hour sliders? I mean, I know Hunter Brown does that. Like, how is
Yeah.
that good for an arm, Clint?
Nah,
Why is Chaz McCormick
it's
up
not.
against this guy? Why is Chaz McCormick up against this guy? Clint, I don't understand. I know people that Larry. Why you keep harping on your tables? Well, why is he? Why are we doing stupid things?
Yeah, Chas
Chaz
McCormick
McCormick,
276 will be yeah.
when we've got a 403 and a 333 sitting on the bench, it's the eighth inning. I mean, it's a 276, but that's only because it's counting on throwing half fastballs. Did he throw half fastballs to Chaz McCormick?
Let me see.
Did he? Let's go see.
He threw one sinker. Well, yeah, he did. He went 50% fastball, four
Well,
seam fastball, sinker, and then slider, slider.
all right. The out pitch. Well, no, the out pitch was actually the fastball.
Hmm.
Okay, guys, something has to be done with Chaz McCormick. I I am at a point where I don't like Hamilton. Let me go see what Hamilton's doing.
Yeah, and Todd, part of me's like, I mean, maybe you catch some upside um with Leon pinch hitting in a situation like that. And I don't want to say his defense is going to be any worse than Dubon out there in right field, but
I mean,
it's
Cabbage can't do any worse than that in that
no.
situation. I mean,
At least it's a lefty on.
right. At least it's a lefty versus this matchup, guys. I mean, look at the 328 versus the 308. At least you're getting 20. I mean, at least we're getting some contact there from, was that Altuve?
Yeah,
Altuve at least makes contact. I don't know. Man, this game, Clint, this game. I don't like games like this, Clint. I'll just be
no,
honest with you. I like
this is not the
I'm
game we wanted to do a
Clint,
watch party
Clint,
with.
I'm too old for this. I'm too old for this. I don't, I mean, actually, no, this. I mean, to be completely transparent, though, this is the kind of game we need to do, Clint, because we can talk through all these different things, right?
Yeah,
But
not
I
only
mean,
that, but it sets the stage really because this is where you find out, like this is gonna be a 1-run lead potentially. Hader's gonna have to close this thing out. You know, is he gonna stay? Is he gonna stay as consistent as he's been in that situation? A little bit more high leverage than if had they been 5-0 or something like that. But
let's go, Brian Abreu. All right, guys, here's Brian Abreu. Clint, is this showing up okay?
yeah, I could see it.
Okay. All right. So who do we got coming up, Clint? Help me out.
Right now we've got Walls up.
Walls. So Walls is a 205. Look at the blue, guys. 205. Like, pick your pitch. But I mean, really what we should see from Brian Abreu is living on this breaking pitch. Now, this number looks unsustainably low. Let me go check something here. Brian Abreu, let me go Dream Team entails. Walls. I gotta go green tables. Walls. All right. So Walls only has, yeah. So Walls only has 97 breaking pitches against right-handers. So that's not enough of a database to really have that much confidence in. But 97 pitches is still that it's 079. Pretty much tells you that's not a real good matchup for him. All right. What happened?
Yeah,
All right. So already he goes, look at that. Is it like, okay, slider, four seam fastball, slider. What did I tell you? He's going against the breaking pitches. Guys, I know, like, okay, Larry, but this is the game within the game. It's like when you understand this data, then what you see in front of you makes sense. Let me try to do this. Let me try to do this. And he needs to throw that slider for strikes, though, Clint.
hmm Well, those last two look pretty good, the 3 and 4 pitch, but now he's missing on 5 and 6.
5 and 6, not competitive. That's
Even
pretty much.
7 was, or no, yeah, 6 was not competitive.
All right, we just walked a guy that had a 205 matchup. This is what drives me crazy about Brian Abreu right here. All right, this matchup with Johnny DeLuca is a 206 matchup, and similarly, he has no chance against off-speed pitches and breaking pitches. Very little chance on breaking pitches. So you're going to see a lot of breaking pitches versus DeLuca. Well, it's not. It's Siri. Okay, sorry, I must have my order wrong.
Yeah, he looked really late on that fastball, that ball four he threw. Even at 94, it just looked real late with the hand coming, with
All
the
right,
with
so
the release going through whenever he threw that pitch.
We got Siri up, and look at the Siri's telling the table's telling us Siri 248 versus breaking pitches. So there should be a lot of breaking pitches. Slider, slider. 50% sliders versus right-handed pitch, right-handed hitters. But here, he may go fastball just to change it up, but
Yeah.
that should not be thrown for a strike. That fastball. The game within the game, guys. So there you go. Fastball way out of zone. Let me see if he'll go chase that. All right. I guess it was an 0-2 count. Slider, slider, 0-2 gets ahead. Then throw a fastball way out of the zone.
Yep.
I'm not even seeing that pitch yet.
It's a slider.
And slider for the out. Yeah, I just saw the Brave throws a really uncompetitive third four seam fastball. I mean, I get it. You're not going to throw that for a strike. You want to change the speed, but at least bring that more like here.
Mm-hmm.
And all right. So then you saw the table play out. Now we got Yandy Diaz.
I'm gonna take
Right,
the
so
overlay
Yandy
down for
Diaz.
a second so we can see that.
Yandy Diaz, basically about the same for everything. So you're just getting a really low score for Yandy Diaz based on how good Ryan Abreu is overall, 241 overall. So here, Abreu's free to pitch basically anything he has because basically Yandy Diaz is about the same with everything he has. So that's why he starts out with 2 strikes.
Yep.
Man, Walls stole second. Walls gets the second on the ground out and steals third.
Mm-hmm.
They are putting pressure on the defense. I mean, Yandy Diaz is a good hitter, guys. He's not going to swing at pitches this far out of the zone. I would have loved for the Astros to be able to trade for Yandy Diaz.
Are they reviewing that throwdown?
Oh, are they? I haven't seen. I mean, it sure looks like they should, right? No, they got another pitch already, so nope.
No. Okay.
They should have.
He might have beat it just barely.
They looked at it and then.
Yeah, it looked close.
Ooh. Oh no, it was safe. All right. Okay. Hand was in there. Yep.
Now he's 2-2 on Yandy. Oh, there it is. Did he lay a bunt down?
Did he?
They squeeze play that? I'm waiting to see. A fielder. I think he had to have done something, or he just chopped it. Oh yeah, he just flubbed it right over the. They didn't get him at home. Okay.
Dang it. Yanir's calling for a review. That would be great if they actually got it. Did you get it, guys? Did you see it?
Yeah. Todd saying his hand was in there.
I think he's saying that on the third base though.
Oh, he said. Oh, okay, I see. Man, that's tough. It all depends. You have to look, see if we can see it from the other angle where the tag was. I just don't
Man.
know if there's enough to overturn it, but they gotta review it.
Yeah, I mean it's a game situation. I don't know, guys. I think if he was called out, he would stay out. If he was
Yeah,
called, since he was called safe, he's going to stay safe. Sorry, guys.
yeah. Overturning the call is gonna be a lot harder with the way that replay looks. Yeah, it just looks. It just doesn't look like there's enough. Yep, confirm safe.
All right, come on, Brian Brady.
A pinch runner for Diaz.
All right, so what's his matchup look like?
Brandon Lowe against Abreu.
411. Guys, Brandon Lowe is pretty good, especially versus the righties.
Yeah, it doesn't help the time they took with that review.
I don't know, guys. This game feels like it's going to slip away. I don't want to. I don't want to be in a negative Nancy, but
Yeah. I was like, do we know if they have anybody warming up?
I doubt it. Imagine they go hater. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling too, Todd. They deserve to lose this with the poor inning performance. Brandon Lowe is overdue in this game. Been a really good matchup versus every pitcher they've thrown at him tonight.
I mean, those walks get you.
Jesus, the steals have put them in position.
Yep.
Why, man?
It's not common. I mean, I know Diaz is usually a guy you don't want to steal on, but it's all about what's happening on the mound, and they just
Mhm.
have the they just have the breaks right now. They're getting the right jumps.
No, yeah. I mean, the issue with this game really is the bats. Man,
These guys,
another close
they
call.
they're like, what do you mean he's safe? Are we gonna review that one?
I don't know. It's another close one though.
Yeah,
Yep,
they're challenging it again.
that's our last challenge, right?
Ah, he looks safe though. He really does. Oh no! I mean that looks like it could be an out. Yeah, he looks out
It's
to me.
overturned. Umpire reviewed tag call. Call on the play was overturned. Jose Caballero caught stealing. Thank you, Yanier Diaz, for bailing out your pitcher.
Gosh,
guys, I, I was working toward this. I'm a little concerned about Brian Abreu. I mean, on that table of data, you could argue that the answer really should be Brian Abreu here. His FIP is the worst of the four of these guys, right? Now, I know. No one's. They're not going to DFA. And they're not gonna option Brian Abreu for
Yeah.
Forrest Whitley. But
Well, we got some good news. He was able to get Brandon Lowe out. And
yeah, that's good. Brandon Lowe is way overdue. I don't want to see him up again. Which, well, my Prize Picks wants to see him come up again, but I don't. Like,
mm-hmm.
I'm ready for I'm ready for Jordan Alvarez to hit a home run and get this game over with.
I was like, have they said who they're bringing in?
I don't see it. Let
No,
me know
not
when
yet.
you see it.
I haven't seen it yet. So let's.
All right. I will get the table up ready to go. Let's see. We're going to go up. It's not USETA. It's probably. It's, would it be Fairbanks? It's the 9th, right? Yeah, they probably are bringing Fairbanks in.
I never saw what Sandy Alcantara's contract was like. He was one of my. I liked him coming out. Sorry, I got a little distracted by some news I'm also seeing from other.
Ferguson is in the pen, though. Really? Interesting. All right, they're going with Fairbanks.
So Sandy Alcantara's
Well, they may save Hader for when there's a guy in second.
yeah. Bring Hader in with the runner and score in the extra
Yeah,
inning.
right. If we get there. Guys, I am way more positive about Ferguson than anybody else in this fan base just because I wrote the Fixing Ferguson article and I truly believe that they can fix Ferguson. So all right. So we do have Fairbanks up. Let's get the table up. All right. All right. So you see Fairbanks. Who we got? We got Bregman versus Fairbanks. All right. Well, Bregman's not a great matchup versus Fairbanks. But Jordan Alvarez, Yiner Diaz, great matchups. Did they shake off? Did they shake off Diaz? Todd, I get tired of that. All right. Well, as predicted, Alex Bregman not a great matchup versus Fairbanks. Surprisingly, he couldn't hit the fastball, but got a little rum in my drink, Clint. So we're gonna
That'll do it.
That'll deaden that sore throat here. I'm looking at him pitching, just pitching around Alvarez. Come on, guys.
I don't blame him.
Right until there's Tucker in the lineup.
Yep.
Which is kind of incredible that Alvarez has been so good when Tucker has not been in the lineup. But wow, they threw a changeup to Alvarez.
Just
Middle,
foul.
middle. Woo. Watch this next pitch, Clint. You got the fastball foul, right? Watch the next pitch. Oh man. He watches this pitch go.
Yep. Tells me he was like, "Give me the fastball. Give me the fastball."
Oh my God. Oh, Jordan, Jordan, Jordan. All right, well.
Must not like what's about to happen. Yep.
All right. Jan here. Maybe it's up to Jan here to be the hero.
Fudge.
Todd, this was not a good matchup for the Astros coming into this game. I'm not surprised that they didn't perform great. I mean, obviously, one hit is really
Yep.
bad, but all right. We think it's Ferguson.
I think it is. I just think that was not enough time for. I think Hader would have been up already, no,
All right,
and warming.
we'll go down to the Ferguson in the table. Taylor Scott. We're gonna burn everybody tonight. Good thing there's an off day tomorrow. Way to go, Astros! Because Larry the GM's anniversary is tomorrow, so we sure could not use a game.
They're just gonna get. They just might give you extra innings tonight.
Yeah, they're making me work for it tonight. Well, we hope they're making me work for it tonight. Caleb Ferguson. Ooh. So one thing to know about these tables, guys, is they're not built. The relief pitching tables are built for the standard lineup. They're not built for the actual lineup. So you're like, well, that's not the order. We got Morrell and Josh Lowe. All right, so we actually got it right. We got these three guys coming up. Which interesting. Okay, it is. Wait, it's Hader. All right. Well. Okay. Scroll back down. Morrell, Josh Lowe, and Camarino. Look how blue those tables. Look at this. Josh Hader has some stinking blue tables, guys, for these batters. Look how red.
Oh,
Look how red this is. Look at Josh Hader versus lefties. Why would you even send a lefty up there? They may pinch it for Lowe, Josh Lowe, because that at 147 is just embarrassing. They're going to try to win it in the ninth. They will try to do it without Josh Lowe. Send Dylan Carlson or somebody else up there. Look how blue that table is, though, Clint. I mean, you've basically got Brandon Lowe pink, Yandy Diaz red, and everybody else is blue, basically blue. It's just Jose Siri pink, light pink.
So the question, obviously, they're doing this to ensure that the game doesn't end here, but you go back to him in the 10th if you have the
Right.
lead.
They have an off day, right?
Yeah.
And what was his pitch count yesterday?
I'm not sure.
It wasn't that high. Wow, I can't pick it up. He pitched yesterday, Todd says. Yeah, but what was his pitch count? Christopher Morel strikes out. Yeah, that's pretty much what we would expect. They're sending guys. It's Josh Lowe. Josh Lowe, 147 matchup. Of course, he'll get a hit. Watch. People say your system sucks, Larry. Not really. It's just baseball. Baseball will baseball. He had 10 pitches last night. I mean, if he gets it quick, 10 pitches, I'm sending him back out for. I'm sending him back out. Give me 20. Give me 25.
Yeah.
Gosh, little foul ball, foul ball, foul ball. I mean, credit to him for even following them. I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost like, well, he went sinker, sliders, sinker, slider, sinker, sinker. And shockingly, Josh Lowe struck out in that situation, Clint.
Yep. Now he turns around to have
Camarino. A 256 matchup. Slider.
Yeah, he's been so good since he found that slider again.
Do most Astros fans really realize how good Josh Hader's been this year after like the first 2 weeks of the year, Clint?
No.
That stuff kind of annoys me. No, it doesn't kind of annoy me. It does annoy me. Let's be honest.
This is the guy you paid for, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a situation we paid for him, right?
Yep.
This is why he's here.
Yeah, Todd, we love swords. They're good. Yeah, Todd, we weren't banking on him having to be pitching in these tie games like this and
Yeah.
in these situations. It's kind of unfortunate, but at the same time, it's just I guess it kind of sums up the way the season's gone.
So that's 12 pitches for him, right?
I think so. Let me scroll, but let me check.
So what do we think, chat? If it's 12 pitches,
Yeah,
it's
12
12.
pitches.
Does he come back out? Who do they got? Who do they got yet to face? I'm sorry. I mean, I'm asking questions and I have the data right in front of me. Come on, Larry. We don't know how to say that guy's name. Ben Warfare. All right, he's probably getting pinch hit for. All right, do we try to get one run here? Are we playing for one, Clint? Or are we trying to go bozo ball and just hit massive home runs? In other words, it's Pena. Is Pena bunting here?
I mean, I would. I mean, in my opinion, I'm trying to find a way to get that runner over with one out and
Yeah.
open up the
So
sac fly opportunity.
they went with Clevenger. All right. Well, Larry, do your job. Get Clevenger. Clevenger may be one of those guys I don't actually have data for. Oh, there he is, right there. Yiner Diaz, Yiner Diaz, the best matchup. Yiner Diaz. No, he's at second base. Never mind.
Yeah, he's in.
Jeremy Pena, 349. That's a good matchup. I mean, that's not. I mean, it's not. It's pink. The Senzo, I don't know. Pinch runner Pedro Leon replaces Yiner Diaz. All right. So that's interesting. So Caratini is coming in at some point, probably for Dubon.
Yeah.
Senzo Myers Dubon, right? I think I think we gotta get Pena to get a hit here. I mean, this guy is not that great. Gotta be able to take advantage of the Clevenger here. Come on. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe he did. Because it
Maybe he
looks
did
like
get him over,
the runner did. Yeah, maybe he
and they've
did.
hit some deep shots to center.
Oh, okay. So he flies out sharply. Oh, wow. Look at Pena. Pena's like, I got you guys. Ooh, ooh,
That
get
was close.
down.
Why isn't he sliding there?
Oh, what are we? They're calling for a review.
Yep.
What
Why is
the?
he not sliding?
What are we doing?
He got a bad break off that thing too.
Pedro Leon. Here I am trying to defend you, and you're going to do stuff like this? Come
I
on,
don't
Pedro
know if he
Leon.
got him, but it's if the glove didn't stay on whenever his feet
Do
transitioned
y'all
on
think
the bag.
y'all think you got him?
I don't think so. Looks like they didn't. Oh, no review
Yeah,
after all. Hmm.
he's smiling like I fucked up. I'm going to get hammered by the kangaroo court.
I wasn't so worried about the. For me, it was the transition when after his. I guess it's left
Yeah.
foot hit and his right foot came on. There's a slight moment. If he had held the tag on him, of course you slide and you avoid that altogether. That's the point.
Pedro Leon, you do not want to talk to Alex Bregman right now.
There's nobody warming in the bullpen, so it's haters to.
I would suggest you avoid Alex Bregman at all costs.
Right now in 1-0 count. I mean,
Okay.
this is what you're looking for, right?
Yeah, Jake Myers. Jake Myers is a good matchup here, and so I don't, guys. I don't know about DeCenzo. I have the database. I don't have enough data. As far as I'm concerned, he's going to strike out every time when he comes up. I don't know.
Such a big swing there. Gosh, dog it.
Over
Just play
three.
the situation. Simplify.
I mean, if DeCenzo knew how to bunt,
Yeah,
wouldn't you try?
this would be the part. Yeah,
Just get the damn run in, and then say, Josh Hader, you're the freaking all star. Shut their ass down. I don't know, guys. You got another one, Clint. You got another. I don't know.
Yeah,
Next
it's just
time,
tough
next
because
time,
it's.
next time, Clint, I want you to keep a running log of how many times I say I don't know during the live game watching party.
I don't know if I have a ticker that counts that high. I don't know if I can keep up with the tally marks.
For a guy that's accused of being a know-it-all, I really say I don't know a whole lot, Clint. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. We only know what we know. That's the problem.
That's it. I know what I don't know, and what I don't know, I don't
Yeah,
know. Damn it. Oh, I don't need a strikeout there, Zach DeCenzo.
I'm just surprised you don't tell him just to try and bunt anyways. It's like, well, worst case scenario, you strike out or you get thrown out at first. It's kind of
The Astros just don't play small ball very well
no,
because
no.
they don't have
This
a lot.
is
They don't have. Dude, that ball was grooved down the middle. And like that would have been an easy pitch to bunt, right? I mean, 97 down the middle.
yeah.
Just absorb it and bunt it the way you want it to. Well, look at Myers come up there and take two balls. Okay. McCormick's actually a good matchup here too. Because he's a lefty. I don't know. I'm sending Caratini up there. I don't know. Caratini's probably better as a lefty hitter, so maybe you don't send him up against a lefty Clevenger. Come on.
gonna gonna walk Myers.
Is he gonna walk Myers?
It's 3-0.
I mean, that's either an indictment on McCormick.
Yeah, straight walk. Yep.
Okay. All right.
I
Who
know.
wants a pinch hitter here?
I would love to see them just send Myers on this pitch.
Oh, they got Dubon. They got Dubana. Oh no, I
Yeah.
definitely pinch hitting Caratini for Dubon. Oh God, no. This game rests on Dubon here. No, 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 no. You're gonna have to put the catcher. You're gonna have to put Caratini in anyway. What are we doing? Watch, I'm gonna be all upset, and then Dubon's actually gonna do something the first time in a month. Get down, get down. No, 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 no. It's just Dubon drives me crazy, Clint.
Yeah.
We see Dubon. It's a 266 matchup. We've got a guy on the bench 327, and another guy on the bench. I I don't I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. Well, McCormick's
Um,
after him, so we really
yeah,
only have
we have
Caratini.
we have Caratini on the bench 327. And of course, we can't use Elizabeth Diaz because I don't know why he's even on the team.
Yep. Dubon's fighting.
Yeah. Devon's going to get a hit here, and he's going to shut me up. Which I'm fine with. Just on the record. I want to go on the record as being like, go ahead, Devon, shut me up. Y'all remember like the first month, Mauricio Dubon was this incredible runners and scoring position batter.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
now he has no
after
incentive to pitch to him if he doesn't want to, because Myers is now on second with a full count.
well, hey, they're doing they do the Astros a huge favor if they pitch around Mauricio Dubon. Man.
Yeah.
There is Mauricio Dubon has been absolutely terrible with runners and scoring position now late in the last since May. I'm afraid to even look, Clint. It's just like, I mean, to give Dubon credit,
Yep. It's
at
in
least he's
play. It's in
working.
play. Something good happened.
Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness!
Singles
Maurice
to center
Mauricio
field.
Dubon Mauricio Dubon shuts me up. Good, good for him.
It's like I haven't seen
Good.
it on the video, but
Mauricio Dubon actually got a
yep,
pitch. Look where that pitch is, guys.
it's
Low
90,
middle.
90 in the middle.
And Dubon just says, "Oh, I can hit that."
Now what are we
Like,
doing?
don't be talking, Dubon. All right, so are we? I guess we're letting McCormick go up there because he's a good matchup versus the
Yeah,
lefty.
yeah. I think at this point with the lead, just let him go up there. I just don't like them. Like send Dubon already. Good. There it is. Finally. Worst case scenario, he tries to throw him out at second, and the runner Jake takes off
Yeah,
home, and you put some
yeah,
pressure on.
yeah, hundred
They're not
percent.
going to throw behind a runner, so take the bag. And
I don't know what is wrong with Chas McCormick,
well, look
guys.
how
What's
far
wrong with
away
Chas?
he's standing in that
I
box. You see him?
yeah. I
He's on the
just
back
like
line of that box.
look at ball three. Look at the third pitch. It's
I don't know how he ever touches anything out there. Look how far away he is. Holy cow. I mean, I saw that the other night thinking, hmm,
Wish that pitch had gotten by the catcher. That pitch was
yeah.
terrible. Ah, Chaz.
Well, you got the lead with your stud closer coming in, so
Yeah.
this is what we signed up for, right?
That's why we pay him $19 million for this right here.
Yep.
What do you think, chat? I don't see anybody chatting. What do you think? Come on, Twitter. Come chat with us. Clevenger. Right,
There's
finally, I got
27
out of it.
people on Twitter, and I haven't seen a. Only Todd is the only one that has anything to say. It's a
Come
bummer.
on, Twitter. Come on. It's not like we're gonna or let's see how the poll did. All right, so 61.5% said that they would be optioning Sean Dubin. But that's not what's really interesting, Clint.
Mm-hmm.
13.8% said they would be optioning Brian Abreu. That's the interesting part. That was the trick part of the question. That people actually would say, no, Larry, that Brian Abreu guy with his terrible FIP 3.5. I mean, it's not terrible, but 3.54 FIP. That's the guy we want to option. All right, well, that's why I pulled the names off of it, Clint. I really want people to evaluate the numbers. All right, what do we think is going to happen here? All right, we got Hader up. We got Carlson. They are going with Carlson. They are going righty. Taylor Scott. Right, so that means I'm going this way. Good thing we have an off day tomorrow. Dylan Carlson, a 231. I mean, you can't blame them. They're going righties. They're going righties on the lefty, but
Yep.
I mean, he's Josh Hader for a reason, guys. So where are we in the lineup? They got Carlson, DeLuca, and Walls.
Yep. 6, 7, 8.
And DeLuca's 245 and Walls is 141. I don't remember who else is still available on their bench. All right. You got him. You got him. You got him, Josh. You got him. Come on. That's why we pay you $19 million a year. Right here.
Oh, foul ball right
Ooh.
off of Caratini. I'm trying to see where he took that
Mm.
one. Looked like the abdomen, but
Now we're going to find out why we got Elizabeth Diaz really on this team. The emergency catcher, Elizabeth Diaz.
oh, right off the shoulder. Good thing it hit pad. The secret weapon, the secret catcher.
The secret catcher. I mean, he's got to be there for something because he hasn't done shit for 20 days. So, hey, Clint, I could be a good cheerleader if the Astros want to pay me whatever they're paying. They're playing at Lemons Diaz 237,000. I think is what I saw.
Yep.
I mean, I could be a hell of a cheerleader for $237,000.
I'd be happy to warm up right field.
I I would. I'll do anything they need me to do. I just let me go to the ballpark. I mean, like, what the hell is that fat man doing out there? Like, well, he's here helping the team. He's helping the team. He
The
replaced Led. He replaced Ledmus Diaz. All
he can
right,
read the
come on,
he can
Hater.
he can read the back of a baseball card.
I can read the back of a baseball card better than anybody. Come on, Josh Hader, get these guys out.
He's working hard.
Pitch number 16. Pitch number 17.
I would think they've got not that I don't think he can get through it, but they've got to be somebody warming just in case. I would think.
It's got to be Ferguson, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's lefty though. I mean, who else could it be though? Oh man, then he's not missing them. This is where, like, it's his velocity down a little bit, I guess, right? It's 97,
a pinch.
94.
Yeah,
Who's
they're
that
just
second for them?
they're just sitting sinker Caminero, right?
Caminero. Okay. Ooh, look at him throw the ball in there. You know what I love about the Astros? We just pulled our catcher, and I don't even care. Like, I got Caratini back there. That's like whatever. Caratini, Diaz, both those guys. They're
Yeah,
both qualified. They're both quality. Okay, now let's not lose them. I would hate to throw 8 pitches to this guy and then walk him. All right, let's get it done. Let's get it out.
Looks like he got an out.
He got an out, and the runner did not advance.
Yeah, he hit it to left field, so perfect.
Chaz McCormick. He's in there for the defense. He's not in there to bat. He's in there for the defense. Okay. 1, 2 more. This feels like it almost feels like a playoff game. Jeez.
Yep.
Jose Siri would have gone for it, Chad. Jose Siri would have gone for it, Clint.
Yeah, probably.
DeLuca, a 245 matchup. We're going to see a lot of sliders.
Mariners and Tigers are tied up in the bottom of the 10th.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Tigers got a chance to walk that off.
That'll be fun. How fascinating would that be, Clint? We win this in 10, and they lose their game in 10.
Yeah.
We're up 2.5. 2.5 sounds like nothing, but it's 2.5.
6 weeks ago it was 6 weeks ago it was a big ask.
Yeah.
Clint,
in April 27th, if I told you the Astros would be playing on August 14th for the chance to go up 2.5 games in the division, this Astros fan, I mean, if we had been on the Astros weekly recap, and I had said, yeah, on August 14th, we're gonna have a live show watching the game together, and the Astros will be playing to get up 2.5 games in the division. People would have just come completely like, are you crazy?
Well, better yet, August 14th, the Astros were 10 games above 500 at the
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He might be getting close to a little bit of laboring in that one.
Yeah. We're at the 25 pitch count. So just somebody go talk to him and say, dude, it's all right, man. You got an off day.
Yeah, and he's gotten away from now he finally threw a slider.
Yeah, I don't understand not as many sliders in this. Like, we don't need to be walking DeLuca. That's all I'm going to say. DeLuca Walls has got no chance. They're going to pinch hit for him. Siri? No, I don't want to see Siri up. Siri could be a hero. Look at that. Look at that, Clint. Look at pinch number 7 there.
Yep.
Pinch number 7, Clint.
That's what he needed. Needed that one. Big time.
He swung at ball 4 right there.
Yep.
Way to go, dude. Josh Hader. Like, can somebody give Josh Hader some love? Because, dude, is like, I don't care. Pitch me 2 innings. I don't care. Pitch me 3 days in a row. I don't care. I just want to freaking go to the postseason.
Yep. He's earning it. That's for sure.
Like, this was the organization that called me, drafted me, promoted me. I mean, did they draft him? I don't even know if that's right or not. They're the ones that I was first being moved up with. I got traded. Now I'm back. Like, I want to. Look at that, Clint. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, folks. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. 2-1. You know, this Astros team, they've won games by hammering the other team. They've won games by pitching duels. there's Josh Hader. Can Josh Hader get some love tonight on Twitter, please? Like, if you're watching this on Twitter, I challenge you. You. You didn't come talk to us in the chat. So you have one other job to do. Go to tweet something about Josh Hader and how you love him and you're like that guy is nails and like repeat. You know what you can do? You can go to my tweet from earlier today where I said Josh Hader is the best signing that the owner facilitated for the Astros during his reign as trying to play GM, because that was an owner signing for Josh Hader. So go find that tweet, retweet it, and put your own words onto it. Josh
Well,
Hader, Houston Astros.
it's even better. The
Seattle
Mariners
lost.
just lost. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Na 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 na. Hey,
No.
hey, hey. Goodbye.
AJ Hinch keeps helping us out.
Look at that. Look at that, Astros. Clint, how many times were we here on a Thursday in April where it felt like you and I were like, it's you and me against the world?
We knew what we knew. I
We
don't know
knew
if we
Josh
said
Hader did not.
we didn't say I don't know nearly as much in April as much as we do now.
Yeah. We said Josh Hader does not suck this bad.
Nope.
We do know this that the Astros are not a freaking terrible baseball team. That's what we knew. We knew that. And that made us radicals in April
Nope.
and early May. Well, folks, I mean, I don't even know if anybody's here. There's nobody commenting, Clint.
I've got
So
30 there's 31 people in here watching, so
I mean,
we
if
have
you guys want to stay here and comment, like if you want me to continue to talk here, then someone's got to step up and comment. But that was wild Astros game. And the best part of it, it's still early.
Yep.
It's still only 8:42.
It's 8:42. Astros are 10 games above 500. It's
With a 2.5 game division lead.
Yep.
What's the old I mean, I don't know if they've updated the playoff odds this fast. No, they haven't. But
I mean, if
before
I'm just
tonight,
looking on ESPN, it's Astros are at 77%.
that's what Fangraph says before tonight's game.
Yeah, these are all the same. Yeah, what I have here at ESPN is the same. So they may have not updated.
77%, guys. Wow. Jump on into the chat. Tell Clint and me something. I'm not seeing any messages. I'm not seeing any I told you so's. I'm not seeing anything. People know that they don't really want to talk to Larry the GM tonight, Clint.
Just when things start going the right way, just the way it is.
When things start going the right way, and those that were saying that things were going to turn around, we can squawk a little bit, Clint. You were there with me.
It's 8 straight wins, and they're heading back home to face the White Sox.
Yeah, the White Sox. Let's hope they don't like let down and.
Yeah, like this would be the time to really put your foot down. And I don't know who Seattle's playing, but if you could take get 2 out of 3 or sweep them, even go for the, you know, go for another sweep. You're talking about really making, you
making
know,
life difficult for the
putting
Seattle
the
Mariners.
pressure on. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so let's do a little bit of schedule recap. What do we got? We got coming up. Like you said, we're coming home. We're playing the White Sox. Then we're playing the Red Sox, and I'm going to assume the Red Sox are going to be a little. They're going to
Pissed.
be a little mad after that series in Boston. All right, I'm just going to say, let's go ahead and take 2 or 3 there. Then we've got a postseason preview matchup with the Orioles in Baltimore and the Phillies in Philadelphia. Guys, I'm just going to tell you right now, do not get depressed if the Astros go 2-5 in that stretch. Okay. The Orioles are freaking good. The Phillies are freaking good. I know the Phillies have been scrambling,
Yeah, and I'll be at that Phillies
but
game on Monday, the 26th. So
and then they got the Royals at home. I mean, I I know the Royals have been good, but are the Royals slipping away? They're they're 4-6 in the last 10. Yeah, I think they're going to start sliding away.
yeah, Orioles are 6-4, so about even. And then
I
I
mean,
don't know what the
their record's actually better than ours, but their competitive position in their division is way worse.
yeah
I mean, part of the reason for confidence for the Astros this year was the division, guys. It always was the division. Um, Clint, how many times did you hear me say in April, like, or March, actually, like, I'm really just not worried about the Texas Rangers this year.
yeah
I I know, like last year at this same time, I kept saying the Rangers are good, the Rangers are good, the Rangers are good. Like, I'm really just not that worried about the Rangers. And it was because of all their massive injuries. The Rangers are about to bail on the season and not stress any of their pitchers that they were trying to get back. Um, wow, Clint,
yeah
this is a big deal.
yeah. Because I know, and like everybody's been talking about, well, Jacob Degrom's coming back. Would you even want to do it at this point?
Right? Are you sure he's coming back? Because I'm not sure he's coming back. Because it may be in their best interest to not pitch him the rest of the season and just to let him pitch next year.
Yeah,
The other sneaky thing in here. Let me do this. Let me do this. No, I'll leave you. All right. So you got the Astros at 496, the Rangers at 489, the Yankees at 488, the Tigers at 485. You know what that is? That it means the Astros have a pretty easy schedule relative to the league for the rest of
yeah,
the year, which is what I was screaming about in the first 40 games. Like, trust me, guys, the schedule will get easier. And these haven't updated yet, Clint.
nope,
This is a big win for the Astros, guys. This is a big win.
yeah.
Clint, thoughts?
Nothing. I mean, eight's a great number. We need to make it 9. I know they're gonna travel back home and get a day off. They'll be ready to go. Um, I guys, this is kind of what we. I'm not gonna say we were 100% right on how it went down, but this is what we expected. This is what the Astros have done, and you've got to like if you still think that they're a below average team or they're not good enough in some of these big spots, I'm not sure what's going on in your head because I still think this team is incredibly incredibly competitive team that will be putting people to the test in the postseason, when they get there. And I don't, yeah, we're gonna have a tough stretch here next week, but or the week after next, but after that, it's kind of we'll ride through it. And I think health is just the biggest thing, Larry. Right now, we're just if as long
Yeah.
as we can keep these guys healthy and keep them rolling, we can do some damage. And I'm definitely still on the boat of this team's got every opportunity to make it to the World Series if they can put it together.
Clint, let me close this out by starting where we started. Folks, if you have not gone to LarryTheGM.com, Clint, maybe I should let you do this because I mean, I'm like, guys, we're putting out analysis that is okay. It's not like Clint said. It's not 100% right because here's the deal: baseball analysis is never 100% right, but it's 100% righter than any of the other analysis you're getting anywhere. And if you're a moneymaker, you're getting daily lineup analysis that could lead you to putting some action down that can make you some money. There's nights like tonight, guys, nights like tonight, the moneymakers didn't make money. You know why? Because the Astros didn't get many hits.
Yep.
Okay. That's just the way it goes. But there's other nights that the moneymakers are making a lot of good money. We were on a really hot streak last week. Um, like it is what it is. Like no one covered the trade deadline like Clint and I covered the trade deadline. And I'm just telling you, if you're not investing time and helping us with a little bit of money to keep the website going, like guys, I'm not sure. I'm not. Okay. I don't need your money, but I appreciate the fact that you would reward those that give you objective, clear analysis. When we were in April, when this fan base was in complete meltdown, Clint and I came here week after week telling you guys it's not as bad as you think. This team is going to be okay. We're going to make it's going to come back. Please calm down.
Well, I
And
think that
here we are.
yeah, the big thing, folks, is like it's you don't even have to read the articles. You can just go watch a recap. You can just go find some of the old recaps from the beginning of the season now, and just kind of understand that the tone never really changed. Was there frustration? Absolutely, but really at the end of the day, we knew what this Astros team was, and we were embracing the hardship that was coming at the beginning of the season, knowing that we were going to reap the reward of the hard work and understanding that these guys are a lot better than what it showed. And right now they're showing it because they're winning games they should win, but they're also winning games that are very close, and that wasn't
Yeah.
happening months ago. They were botching those. They were not doing what they needed to do, but you know, it, we the data and everything says one thing. We want to continue to do our best to provide that for everybody. So money this money. My biggest thing is go like the videos, go share them, subscribe to the channels, show as much love from a social media perspective. It's really easy to share something, retweet something, put it out there, let people know. That goes a long way in just allowing us to continue to branch out and put the content in front of everybody, because I firmly believe, and I will stand by it, this is not something you're going to get anywhere else. And our my biggest thing is how can we bring this to you easier, better, and in a way that is really fun. And we try our best, and it's really hard to get fun about numbers, but really this is where this is where it takes place. Like, this is where it lives. And unfortunately baseball sometimes like tonight, but I just think that we get to take a victory lap with what this team has done. 10 games above 500 at August 14th after the start that we had, and you're not just talking about the start we had. We had to let go and we had to get rid of some dead weight. We had to take on a lot of risk by letting some guys go and playing some folks that weren't ready and putting ourselves in positions with things that just didn't seem to add up. Like there's no telling how good this team had been had we gotten the type of production we had hoped for from the guys that we were paying a lot of money to, like Abreu and them. But now you turn around and now we're talking about a financial future that could have upside. We're talking about a team that, these starting pitchers, Fromber, Hunter, Arrighetti, Blanco's still doing it. Like you never know. Like these guys could carry us a long way.
Yeah. Guys, I mean, the latest article out on the website. It, I mean, I was asked or encouraged by one of my moneymakers to weigh in about like what should the Astros do from a financial standpoint. That led to me writing this article, right? And the point was I broke the paradigm that was actually being discussed and said, look, I've been writing for 2+ years about the Astros being in a position to sign to extend both Bregman and Tucker. That's what this article details, how they could actually do that with it within a framework that's actually more positive than the financial framework that the team is in right now. The team is over the CBT2. This team can be under the CBT2 and extend both Tucker and Bregman. Now, everybody's going to have to play their part. Everybody's going to have to show some flexibility. Everybody is going to have to take maybe a little bit of a cut from what they think they could get. But that's what this article lays out. There's going to be some really hard decisions. We went through it. I mean, you can rewind this article, this video back to 3.5 hours ago when we started before the game, and you can get what I was talking about relative to this article. Right, there are some really tough decisions to make. Some decisions that this fan base is like, okay, are we really ready to let JV go? Are we really ready to let McCormick and Dubon go? Guys, this is the decisions I'm talking about. Are we ready to let your Urquidy go? If you can do those things, you can put yourself in a position to be capable of extending both Bregman and Tucker. Guys, the Astros, we live in the golden era of a sports franchise that almost no fan base has experienced. I really wish there was some way I could fully explain that to you guys. This fan base is blessed by having a team that has gone to the ALCS 7 straight times, and they are headed, despite the terrible start, they're headed to being in. They are likely to be in a position, likely now because they're over 75% in the postseason odds. They are likely now to be heading back to the postseason to put themselves in a position again to make a deep run in the playoffs. So, guys, thank you for joining us. For those that did join us, and thank you for those that commented. I guess those are my final words. If you want to close this out, please close this out. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, guys, like I said, like and subscribe, share with anybody, everybody, any Astros fan you know, any baseball fan you know. I was listening, but I was also typing up a tweet because I want to make sure and remind everybody, like, if you would you have believed anybody in April who said the Astros would be in contention for the division and winning games in August? You know, if you were listening to Larry and I in those times and now, then you would know we were we believed in them all along. And let's just be excited, be happy about it, and then let's just get ready for next week, right, Larry? It's gonna be a full. I think it's a full slate of games next week, right? Where there's no off days for a while now, so we'll have
Yeah.
to find a way to fit these in and get with you guys. So until next time, guys, just as Ted Lasso would say, you just got to believe.